Hello and welcome to another episode of Granger TV. We're going to be here watching this Paul Felder versus RDA card. Very excited to see this card. There's a couple of fights on this card that I'm interested in watching. The Lewis Smolka fight and the BrendanAllen fight, middleweight and bantamweight respectively. Pretty excited to see that. I think that's going to be pretty interesting to watch. Eli's not with me today because he is a fireman and he's been called in to fight fires, save kittens from trees, and all the types of stuff that firemen do. In all seriousness, though, good on Eli for doing that. It's pretty amazing job to do. And yeah, so he's not here with me today. David Roberts is doing God knows what he's doing. And so yeah, it's just me doing it today, and I'm going to do my best, guys. I'm going to do my best. I just want to say, guys, thank you so much for watching. I love the little community that we have here. I'm going to be leaning on you guys to give me as much feedback as you can about the fights. Tell me as much as you, what you think about the fights, who you think is going to win, what you see happening. Man, let's talk about fights that are coming up, fights that have gone by, all of it. So, yeah, I'm really pumped to do this card, actually. I'm looking forward to Felder. I'm looking forward to the Smolka fight, and I'm looking forward to the BrendanAllen Sean Strickland fight. So I'm pretty pumped about it. Hassan Ahmed says, criminal that they didn't use a pic of Felder's moustache. I don't know if it was just me, man, but Felder pre-Wayne, like in some of those interviews, looked super, like drawn. Like he looked really drawn. I think the moustache was the thickest part of his face. Yeah, no, he looked really drawn, man. Like that's the thing. But it was criminal that they didn't use his moustache face. But his moustache face looked creepy because he was really drawn. Like it really surprised me. Marlon, am I still close to Rob? I'm not close to him, but like we don't work together anymore. I sold the gyms. I'm not involved in the coaching whatsoever. Like I'll still message him from time to time, or he'll still message me, but not like that we see each other and all of that. Like we don't, he's got his team and he's got his things he has to do. And like, I'm sure like if I needed to call him now, I could call him, and he could call me. So I suppose like that, yeah, we're still close. Like we have no problem like that. Like every now and then we text each other, talk, whatever, but I don't work with him and I don't have no business interests with him or whatnot, and we're both just busy doing our own things. So yeah, is it pulled from the card, the Smolka fight? Because the last time I looked, it was pushed up into the main card. Fuck, what happened? Because I was just looking at it now, like just before. So, can anyone shed some light on it? I'll look up as well. But just for now, when I was looking at it, it was on. I was actually really looking forward to it. What happened in that? Why did it get pulled from the card? If anyone wants to share that with me, I was really looking forward to that. Actually, that was the fight I was looking for. Oh man, Lewis Smolka is unfit for the fight. The bout has been called off 1 hour ago. Oh man, so there's been 3 cancellations. Arroyo Anders, Marcus Safarov, and Quinones and Smolka. And I was looking forward to the Arroyo and Anders fight. I was looking forward to that as well. So as long as we have the Sean Strickland fight, that one's still on with BrendanAllen. That's going to be a cracker. But yeah, man. Yeah, nah. I was in Richie Vass's corner when he fought Lewis Smolka a few years ago, about probably 7 or 8 years ago. And Lewis Smolka's, he can fight, man. He's got a good chin and he can move around. And man, like I was looking forward to see how he's going to come back from that particular fight. No, hey, Coach Fab, nice to see you again. Where's the Ballina Brawler? The Ballina Brawler, like I mentioned at the start, is not with us today. He's a fireman and he got called in to work last night. So he's a good fight. So it's just going to be me today. Me and father to us all, Edward Wang, who does his Father Time. We also don't have the timer because he's not with us. But I'm going to do my best, guys. Do we have a fight clock yet? We had one last week, and Eli was meant to bring it back. Hence the Edward Wang photo, why he's a person that made that all possible. But yeah, we don't have it. Eli couldn't come in today. He got called in last minute. He's a fireman. I think I'm going to answer that question a lot today. So, yeah. Who do you guys have then? Who do you guys have in today's fights and why? If anyone, yeah, I don't know. I'm really surprised, man, I'm so bummed by that. I am so fucking bummed. I'm interested to see as well what that's going to mean today, Paul Felder versus Dos Anjos, simply because I think, I don't know, I think that Dos Anjos wins this one, and then I wonder what that does to the lightweight division, because then that leapfrogs him, to probably around number 7, I'd say. And yeah, I don't know. I personally don't really like Felder. Not Felder. I don't really like Dos Anjos that much at welterweight, even though he did very well and fought for a title. It's not really the weight for him. I think that he's a pressure grappler with very good striking. He likes to move you forward. He likes to move you back. He goes forward, and he uses very, very good grappling, very, very good jiu-jitsu, and a combination of that and some very good striking to win his fights. And I think that makes it hard to do when he's not the bigger fighter, and he struggled with guys like Colby, Kamaru, and also Leon Edwards, which Leon is a big boy as well. They're all big guys there in that division. And Rafael doesn't have that size advantage that he does here. Although he is shorter than Felder. He is shorter than Felder, but he's a big guy. He's a big, thick dude, big, thick joints. So, yeah, so I don't know. Hassan, I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm here. Also, the other thing, actually, now reminds me, the other reason why Eli couldn't come is my 1-year-old daughter has a cold. And just because of COVID and everything and like we just play it safe, and I don't want people to come over and get sick themselves and then take it back to their family. So yeah. Jason Correa, can't choose between Felder or RDA. Both guys deserve it. Look, man, I like both guys, but if I had to pick, like I said, I'd pick RDA. I just feel that he's kind of able to bring a little bit more heat and intensity. I don't know. Both these guys, they're a little bit older, and sometimes, not always. Not always, but it just depends when for everyone. Like as you get older, you're always closer to that last fight, the one that goes, man, he's not the same anymore. And neither one of those guys have had that bad of a performance that you go, okay, no, this is you should give it up. But I will say to you, I feel that Paul Felder has had that in his mind, in that he has kind of retired and come back and was doing something different. So I think that does affect a little bit. You know what I mean? I do think that affects. And I think RDA still got that fire in him. I think he's still pushing. I think he still wants to win. So that's for Jason Correa. I think my take on it. I think that that RDA is probably going to get the job done in this one. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see that fight, and we'll see how that goes. Joseph says, "Oh man, wishing Eli to be safe at work and thank you for your service." Yeah, man, it's a full-on job, man. It's not it's not a joke what they do for a living, honestly, those guys. So I'm thankful for them as well, man, because especially in Australia, man, in summer, now in December, January, February, you have bushfires, you have like the Australian heat, the Australian weather is perfect for fires, man. It's perfect. Anyone that lives in Australia, anyone that lives in Sydney, it gets really, really, really hot, very, very dry. We're the driest continent on earth, and it gets, pretty bad. So, no, I thank the guys. So up first, we have these girls. So I don't know too much about them. I haven't had a chance to follow them as much. So I did a little bit of research on it, but I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go. Yuan Ferguson says, Granger TV is the only constant we can rely on in this crazy year. Always appreciated here. man, thank you so much, man. Like I said earlier before you guys came on, I love the little community that we have, and I really, really, really appreciate you guys watching the channel, supporting the channel. I'm really enjoying it. Hi, Fab. When will you be doing the sit-down podcasts again with Rob? Those were great. Well, Rob's not really going to be part of the podcast. I think that's something that's like we said that probably a year ago. I think he said that a year ago, and then as soon as we came back, we said it as well. Just he's doing his own thing, we're doing our own thing. We don't really like live close to each other either. So, yeah, that's the situation now. It's not, and like I said earlier, like we're still good. Like we still text from time to time. We've spoken, but you know he's doing his thing, and I'm doing mine. You know, so yeah. Joseph, Coach, your take on Rob saying that he would chase Izzy to 205 if need be for the rematch. I don't know. I don't know that he needs to chase Izzy to 205 for the rematch. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen there. I think that that fight could have happened at 185. I don't know what Rob's time frame is, or why he didn't chase a fight initially. I don't know why. So I don't know. I don't know. 205, I think. Either one of those guys, if they fight each other, it's fine because it's just the same kind of thing. They're both big boys for 185, so 205 is more or less a little under their walking around weight. I don't think that that it benefits either one of them. It'd be interesting though, because like say Izzy had the belt and Rob went up there and fought him and beat him, then Rob would be a champ. So maybe it's a smart move on Rob's part to fight someone that he's already fought and that, you know, he's got a feel for. And yeah, so yeah, I mean, it's from that perspective, if Israel were to win, but if Israel was to beat Jan, I think he'd be chasing the John Jones fight. The only thing I see for Rob there is that he may have missed that little thing, you know, to be able to grab onto it. The little time frame that he had. Fab, every time I shave my head, I always miss a spot. Any tips? I shave my head in the shower, and I go over it backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. So I make sure that I've gone over my head about 3 or 4 times, as well as my face. Valeria R says, super happy you're still doing the commentary. Opinion on the Nevada Commission hybrid rule on instant replays. If it's what I think it is, thank you very much, Valeria, as well, for always supporting the show. Guys, honestly, it makes a massive difference. Like having the support from everyone, whether you donate or not, it just makes a massive difference, you know, to do it. Like, Valeria, so look, I'm not against the instant replays because I think it can clarify a lot of things. You know what I mean? I think that refs in general in all sports are given too much to deal with. Like it's a really hard job. Like I say to people, I think if you went out and refereed an under 15s boys basketball game, you'll find how difficult it is just to ref that, and to have all of that just on one person like they do in MMA. It's hard, man, because you're watching it from TV and you're like, oh, the ref called it too quick, or the ref didn't call it quick enough, but he's only got like 1 second to do it. He's got like tiny little bit of time to do. So I think that any use of technology for you know, to assist us to be able to make better decisions, I agree with. What are your thoughts on that, guys? On the hybrid rule? Leaf says replace Rob with Izzy. No, there's no replacing Rob. Like we're not on like bad terms or anything like that. So no, we're good. How do fighters know what their weight class is? Is it just lose as much weight as possible? No, not necessarily, man, because everyone is able. Rehydrating, losing the weight is not that difficult. You can pretty much make, within reason, any weight. It's being able to rehydrate and perform. So to any of the people that are starting off, what I'd say to you is compete as much as you possibly can. So you get yourself in really, really, really good shape and compete all the time. And then there your weight is going to sit at a natural competitive weight. And then from there, you're going to figure out if you can drop, you know, the 3, 4, 5 kilos to do a one-off competition like MMA or big times wrestling comps or something like that. That'd be the best and most safest way for you to do it. Because if anyone was to train with me and they've never trained before, I'd have them competing a lot regardless, because it's going to get you into shape, it's going to get you combat experience, and it's also going to allow you to be able to play around with your weight. But once you start competing and you're in shape all the time, you're going to walk around at a good weight for yourself. You know, you're not going to walk around 20 kilos overweight. So that's a really, really big one. Thanks at Valeria A. You're single-handedly carrying the Granger TV team. I plan to do my part very soon. Hey, thank you very much, Joseph. Valeria, you're the best. Honestly, she's like the holy trinity of Granger TV, along with David Roberts, Eli, and Valeria. So we're about to start. The ladies are about to start, and we're going to kick off very, very, very soon. I'd have my bell here. I don't have a clock. And we're about to start, people. Have the bell. When I have the bell, it's serious. We're off. Okay. All right, so Hansen's holding the middle of the octagon. She's throwing a jab and a right hand behind it. These are straw weights. I think one of the big things that I see with again, I see Hansen here. She's not really cutting off the ring that well. She's not cutting off the octagon that well, kind of sliding over to the left. If she slides over to the left, she has to be careful not to get hit by McKenna's right hand. Both girls exchanging punches in the clinch, and McKenna throwing the left kick afterwards. I like McKenna throwing that left kick at either one of these girls, throwing the left kick at the end of either combination, because they're both orthodox. They both look like they rely on that right hand, and that makes you keep that right hand at home. You can't just sit back. Roll, big right hand landed by Hansen. Big right hand. Now she's holding the center of the octagon. McKenna throws a little exchanges back, but Hansen seems to be getting the better of it every single time. She's just chasing her around the ring a little bit. Throws a left jab. She's holding the center. Hansen again hits her with a nice stiff jab. So it's more or less a boxing match with some kicks here. Right hand at the top by McKenna. Okay, so the girls there's a lot of clinching here, a lot of heavy clinching going on against the cage. Hansen has her back against the cage, and McKenna has double underhooks. Oh, very nice Uchimata throw by Hansen. Now she's reversed the position. She's gone for a single leg, nice deep single leg. She's got it. She's going to try and step over the back there and pull her off the cage. She's done this. She's a very strong girl, very big, strong girl. Good grappling here. She's getting the fight. She got double underhooks, does Hansen. And McKenna's defending well. McKenna seems to be at quite a mechanical disadvantage, quite a bit smaller. Yeah, it does look like Hansen does have a massive reach advantage. So yeah, and she's using it very well. She looks like a very big, strong girl, does Hansen. McKenna's landed a good combination there. Right hand followed by a left on Hansen. Hansen is moving. Now McKenna seems to take back the center of the octagon a little bit. She seems to be doing quite well here. Hansen throws another combination over the top. Quite evenly matched. Hansen just looks like a bigger girl. But McKenna seems to have grown in confidence. I think she's felt her strength, and it's coming forward. McKenna's holding the center of the octagon. She's thrown combinations. Hansen's gone for the clinch again. She's got deep double underhooks, pressed her up against the cage. McKenna's doing a great job of defending while pushing the face away and trying to make space. She got deep underhooks, and Hansen has her hips nice and deep in there. McKenna's doing a great job. Now she's got a body lock and she's reversed the position. What I would like to see these girls do is get better head control before they transition into the takedown. McKenna's got a single leg, but she doesn't have the best posture here. She doesn't seem to have the best posture. Hansen's pushing down on the head, and they're still going here. Cross face by Hansen. McKenna's still deep on this single leg. Doesn't have the best posture. There's a lot of space. There's a lot of space between them. The hips are very far away. Hansen has landed downward elbows. Now she got a nice deep underhook to defend here, going maybe for a guillotine. She might go for a guillotine here, I think. She might go for this guillotine. It's very, very deep. What was happening there with McKenna was she didn't have the best posture. Like her back wasn't straight, so her head was all the way in, and literally like putting your head in a guillotine. Hansen's showing off some really good wrestling here from this front headlock position, which I think is underutilized a lot. Landed a knee on McKenna's head. She's taken it back, got one hook in. She's looking for the other hook. There's 42 seconds to go. She's got it back now. She's got a body triangle, and she's controlling. She's got wrist control. She's got the choke on across her face. She can finish this across her face, but McKenna seems to be able to still defend it. Now she hasn't got it. McKenna's fighting the hands. She has no longer got the body triangle. The legs are crossed. She's looking for the body triangle on the other side. McKenna's going to survive here. She's not. Hansen's not going to get the choke, but I do think that Hansen did enough to win this round quite convincingly. McKenna's landing some punches. They're kind of landing on the top of the forehead, but she's landing them from the back. It's not going to do anything to Hansen, and she's not going to get out of here in time, I don't think, to do any actual damage. So the first round goes to Hansen in a rather, not one-sided, but a convincing fashion. Okay. Emilio Gokcek says, "Hey Fab, how are you watching the fight?" I'm not watching the fight, Emilio. I'm listening to a podcast, and then I'm just replaying that information back to you guys. No, I just watch it on Fight Pass. I just watch it on Fight Pass on my laptop. Randy, I'm trying to donate, but I keep getting error messages. Does anyone know why? And Vassetti says, "Hey, Randy, you're broke." That's probably why. Hackinator, groin kicks that aren't, 100%. Groin kicks that aren't groin kicks. Yeah, absolutely. All of that kind of stuff, I think, is very, very important. I've seen situations where guys even have stopped at a good sportsmanship, because sometimes the fighter that's saying he got eye poked, and you're like, no, he didn't. He might think he got eye poked. He doesn't know it either. It might have been a knuckle in the eye, and you think, shit, I got eye poked. You know what I mean? So, okay, the two girls are about to start again, and I have my grandmother's bell, and we're off, people, we're off. Again, Hansen in the middle of the octagon. Ooh, nice jab landed by McKenna. Nice stiff jab. McKenna's holding the center of the octagon. McKenna looks to have the tidier hands. But Hansen just seems like just the bigger girl. Landed left body kick landed by Hansen. Another 1-2 landed by Hansen. Still holding the center of the octagon. They're both light on their feet. McKenna looks tidy. She's throwing combinations, but she just seems that quite a bit shorter there, quite a bit smaller as a girl. Again, they're both in the middle of the octagon. McKenna throws a combination, but misses. There's nothing, just hits air. Moving. She's got the center of the octagon. Big right hand thrown by McKenna. Just glances of the head of Hansen. Both girls moving. Good entry there by Hansen. Very good entry. Pushes her up against the cage. She now has got good head position. Gone for a body lock. McKenna has pummeled back in. Hansen's going for an inside trip, but misses. She's gone for the inside trip again. I think she should transition into something else. She's got a deep underhook. Deep underhook. I think McKenna's going to get out of this. Yep, right hand on the break by Hansen. Very nice. Very nice work. McKenna's still looking very tidy. She's very, very game. I like her. She just seems like at quite a mechanical disadvantage, not a technical one. Right hand thrown, and then the left high kick by Hansen. I like it. I think she should throw more of that left high kick just to keep that right hand of McKenna's at home and stop her from throwing that right hand. Make her start hesitating. Tie clinch, knee landed by Hansen. But McKenna's very durable and keeps coming forward. McKenna's in the center of the octagon now. She blitzes in with a triple jab. No real effect there, but the other thing is she throws a combination and then she steps back, if you can see anyone that's watching. So what happens is McKenna will throw a combination, get a little bit of success, and then step back. So as hard as she's worked to win that territory, she then lets her come back out. And that's something that happens with a lot of people. McKenna throws a 1-2 and misses, and Hansen's just walking her back. Again, both girls kind of do that. They push the person back, and then they move back themselves so the person can come back off the cage, and it gives them a little bit of room to move. You don't have to move back. You can just stand your ground where you were. As the person has moved back, you just stand your ground. If you walk back too, then all that real estate that you worked so hard to gain, you lose. Right hand over the top by Hansen. Very, very nice. I don't think McKenna is going to get a finish here. I just don't see it. And I think this fight's going to go, right hand landed right on the chin. Great right hand by Hansen. Very, 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 very nice entry by Hansen. It was actually McKenna that threw the right hand. I like this. I like this fight. She's really working for the takedown. Body lock by Hansen. Hansen is just a beast. She's so much bigger. She's got both hooks in. She's got this forearm under the throat. I don't think that McKenna's going to get out of this. She rolls onto her back. Hansen's got it nice and deep, but it's still on the chin. It's still on the chin. McKenna's fought her way out of it. I really thought that she was done. I really thought that it was done. She's still got wrist control on the near arm. She's transitioning to an armbar here, is Hansen. But I don't know that she's going to get this. I don't know. No, her legs are still quite far apart. Her knees are far apart. Her knees are too far apart. McKenna's landing now ground and pound. She's got Hansen on her back. Her knees, Hansen's knees were way too far apart to finish that armbar. And now McKenna's on top, and let's see what she can do. Now, McKenna's shorter limbs will probably be an advantage from this position here. She's got her stacked up against the cage. What I'd like to see her is walk her left leg up a little bit more to stack that hip of Hansen's so that she can't move her hips around. So if she could move that leg just a tiny bit further up, it would stack Hansen up even more. Because now Hansen can move around and get those hips in. I don't know now. I don't know how the refs see this. I don't know if they see McKenna being able to steal this round. It's a very, very interesting round now. Hansen's still looking for stuff. McKenna's landing a little bit of ground and pound from the top and doing a good job of holding it down, but I don't know that she's actually doing any damage or even actually threatening. Now she landed a nice little elbow. I think the situation, how the fight's played out, McKenna's at a disadvantage and needs to take this round. Some good solid ground and pound, even if it lands on the hands, even if it lands on the forearms of Hansen, will still look good for her in the judge's eyes. She is landing some ground and pound. There's 10 seconds to go. I think she might have stolen this round. 7 seconds to go. Hansen's not trying to get up. This is the thing with the way that the fights are scored too. It's a 10-point must system. So even though I had Hansen winning the fight, McKenna might have done enough to get it. You know what I mean? So yeah. Let me see what people. Hey Fab, love the channel. Stoked you're doing a fight companion. Still doing any coaching, cornering at all, or all in on the podcasting game? I'm definitely enjoying the podcasting, to be honest. I don't know, coaching right now. I'm doing a little bit of corporate work for the moment, and I'm just looking around at different things. I probably will coach at some point again, but I just had a 1-year-old. 1 year ago, I had a 1-year-old, so I got a baby girl, and I just kind of a different stage in my life, at least for now. Maybe I will coach in the near future. I don't know. I'm not really. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I'm enjoying doing the podcasting. I'm enjoying doing some corporate work. So yeah, I'm enjoying that. That's all I'm doing at the moment. New one, round 3. Hansen is in the middle of the octagon. McKenna, look, again, like I said, I think Hansen's winning, but the judges could have given that one to McKenna. There's been a few fights that I've been watching here when we've been watching it together, all of us, and we all thought somebody won and the other person got it. But this is glad this fight's happening, because this is a prime example of that. It's not judged in its entirety. It's judged in as a 10-point must system, like boxing. Don't forget, back in the day in boxing, 15 rounds, you could lose 7 rounds. You could lose the first 7 rounds and then come back and win the last 8 and you win the fight. You could lose, as long as you win 8 rounds, you would have won that fight. And so you could have lost the last 2 rounds and still won that fight, and that's why people look at the judging and they're like, "Oh, it's really, really bad." But that's also a system that they're judging under. A big right hand landed by Hansen just a second ago while I was on a soliloquy. McKenna's doubling up on the jabs, but hitting air. Nice combination thrown by Hansen. A left hook by McKenna on Hansen's exit. Now McKenna seems to be have slowed down a tiny bit, a little bit. She seems to be breathing a little harder. Hansen's still moving. Right hand thrown by McKenna, but hits nothing but air. Nice entry. Very nice entry by Hansen. Now she's taken it down. She's in half guard. Very, very nice. Very, very good upper body control. She's got the good shoulder pressure on the neck and a nice deep underhook. She's got a beautiful position to flatten her out. And this is what I talk about when she's in half guard, but the half guard has really become a Turk-ride in wrestling. So she's pinned her, and there's 3 minutes to go, and I don't see Hansen wanting to let her up or even look like she wants to do too much moving. She looks like she's threatening something over here on the arm. It could be a key lock, could be, but I really don't think she's going to do anything because she's going to use that half guard as a Turk ride to just pin her down. And that's a danger with that because she's not doing jiu-jitsu against her here. They're really what's happening. Well, it is jiu-jitsu. It's all ground game, but that's really a pin. And now she's just going to hold her there for, there's 2 minutes to go. I don't think the refs are going to stand him up. She should throw some ground and pound and be active. But she's got the shoulder pressure there. It's a very, very good position here. She's going to use it to pin her. She's looking like at a makeshift cradle now. Very, very smart from Hansen. Very, very good work because it was a close fight. Although I had Hansen winning it, but that last round, we don't know how it was scored. She's looking for a Japanese necktie here, but McKenna's doing a great job of defending. What McKenna doesn't want to do is come in too close when Hansen has her hands locked like that. You don't want that. Now, McKenna is holding on as tight as she can, but this is only going to be, she doesn't have it deep enough to get that choke, and it's only going to be to Hansen's benefit. Now in full guard, there's nothing happening here for McKenna. Hansen's too close to her. Good. McKenna's landing some elbows from the bottom, but she has to land them enough. So there, now that Hansen has stood up and given her space, she needs to kick off and get up, but she wasn't quick enough to do that. She's landing some elbows from the bottom on McKenna, but they don't seem, the point of the elbow isn't landing. She's landing them more with a tricep. She's threatening for a Kimura from the bottom. It's a hard Kimura to pull off like this. She may do, but it's hard. It's hard because I see Hansen being a lot bigger and a lot stronger, and she's gone back to kind of a modified half guard, and she's threatening an arm triangle. She could get this if she gets to mount. If she gets to mount, she could get this. She's sliding out. She's passed. She's deep on this head arm choke. It could happen. Not very good. McKenna got her elbow back in, but it's still threatening. So she didn't recover fully from it. I think Hansen might get this head arm choke. She's got her nice and deep. Oh, McKenna reverses it. Now McKenna's on top. McKenna's going to land some. She has to try and get this finish. I do not think that she can steal this fight unless she completely breaks Hansen's face. Hansen's fighting. If Hansen could get up, he should cement the win. But the reality is, to me, the ground control has been significantly better for Hansen, in my opinion. But yeah, so McKenna's going to hold it down here. She's trying to land some ground and pound, but there's 7 seconds to go. I really don't see her being able to win this fight. I saw Hansen winning it, but it was a very close fight. So it's very, very interesting. Thank you, guys. So Jack Fraser, I don't know. I'll probably will be coaching at some point, but just concentrating on my daughter at the moment, trying to learn to surf, doing some consultancy work in a corporate sector, and just, that's what I'm doing at the moment. Who wins, Gallen or Hunt, from Jed Kurz? Oh, man, I think Gallen is probably the more technical, tidier boxer, just because he's been doing it now for quite a long time. But I think Mark's a fucking monster, you know what I mean? No matter what. So it's going to be a tough one. I think that if Paul Gallen can keep it every round as a nice, neat, tidy boxing fight, he could win it. But Mark is not going to let that happen, I don't think. I favor Mark. I actually do favor Mark. It's hard, man, because I know Mark for, 20 years. So I always go for Mark. It's hard, man. It's hard for me to be objective with that. I know with Mark, I was training with him and Sandoy at Denza Park before Mark fought Vanderlei, and I remember, talking to Mark about that and everything. So I can't, man, I can never go against Mark. I always want Mark to win. Nothing against Paul Gallen. I don't actually know him, but I definitely go for Mark always. Always. So let's see who wins this: Hansen and McKenna. The ref is looking very serious. I don't know who's going to... I thought Hansen won, but not by much. Oh, McKenna won. Hey, that's what I mean. Look, tell me what you think about that particular fight. I thought Hansen won, but not by much. So I'm actually not... it was a unanimous decision. So there you go. It just depends how you see it. I didn't see it. But also, this is the other thing that I say to you. I can only go with what I see. I can't hear the shots. Not only can I not hear the shots, I can't see the person's reaction. So I don't know when somebody's hurt or when they're not, or, so the refs see it different, and you have to go with the fact that they're also reffing the fight. I'm watching the fight and talking about it with you guys. So respect to the refs. Thank you, James. Thank you very much. James K says the play-by-play is perfect. Granger TV, yep, Hunt or Gal answered that one. Valeria R says, Joseph, I was thinking the same thing, that ponytail would annoy me. I honestly see that as well when people talk, when I see the ponytail, I think that would, and also I always think about it with as far as a weight cut, because I always think like, fuck, that would work against you in a weight, like it's extra weight that you're trying to get off. Hassan Ahmed says, Fab, what's that painting in the back? Which painting in the back? I can't see any painting in the back. That one there, that's Edward Wang. He donated money for the timer, and Eli brought the timer and used it. That's Edward Wang. That's Father Time. He's the man that made it all happen. Timothy, I like the mood lighting in the room. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Thug Rose got that hair game right. Yes, she does, man. If you're going to fight, short hair's the way to go. Watch Fight Club, when they talk about it, but it is true. Like, if you're going to fight, have short hair, man. One, it's not extra weight you're carrying for the weight cut. And two, like, dude, you don't want the extra hair. And if you're going to have it braided or something so you don't have hair everywhere, it's just not in your favor. Unless you're going to, the Clay Guida had long hair and he used it in his favor because his hair went all over people and that, it was just made it really uncomfortable. And I think it works well if you're someone that's going to be on top and your hair's going to get in the person's face and just make it uncomfortable, get in their mouth and all that stuff. I think that's going to be really uncomfortable. Congratulations to Cory McKenna. Good on her. Good on her. Glad you're here for the commentary. I can only get a Spanish stream to work. No Fight Pass here. Thank you, Denny Boj. Thank you very much. I can also do it in Spanish too if you want me to, Denny. No problems. Jack Freza, love to hear it, man. Glad you're doing good. Yeah, man, I can't complain, man. I'm doing all right. Like, I could always use more money. So, that's all like anybody else. I'm always hoping I win the lotto, but I'm doing well, man. I honestly am very happy. I have a good situation. I live probably, I don't know, man, maybe 100 meters from the beach. Go swimming with my daughter all the time. The other day, my daughter doesn't look anything like me. She's Asian. My daughter looks completely Asian, looks like I kidnapped her. And I took her in and I'm teaching her to swim in that. And it looked like I'd kidnapped a baby and I was dunking her in the water. She looks nothing like me. So if you don't hear from me for a few days, it's because they probably arrested me for that. UFC needs to offer Dominic Cruz's job as an announcer to Coach Fab with that play-by-play. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you. Reach out to them. Tell them I want the job. Hassan Ahmed, Fab letting all the coaches shine for a while. Good guy, Fab. Thanks, mate. Ewan Ferguson, do you think a chimp could be taught BJJ? If so, how far would they get at the open weight ADCC? Oh, dude, I don't think a chimp needs to learn BJJ. And I still think that he would win ADCC. Like, chimps are fucking strong. I've held little monkeys, like little tiny monkeys at a zoo, and you can feel their strength, man. This Onglang Sung, he was on the podcast, Fights at 1FC. I just saw him there in the background. Yeah, and monkeys are stupid strong. My dog's probably 50 something kilos like that. And when I wrestle him as well, stupid strong. So definitely a chimp would win the ADCC. Eli, like I said before, he's a fireman. So he's not here. He actually got called in at just right at the end, you know. So yeah, he got called in to a shift, so he wasn't able to come in, and he was on his way here with the clock, Edward Wang's memorial clock, but he couldn't bring it in. So yeah. Leaf, would you ever get a head tattoo like Kevin Lee? Nah. You have to be a tough guy like Kevin Lee to get a tattoo like Kevin Lee, and I'm not a tough guy at all. So, nah. Dos Joe will definitely win. Karim, I don't understand that. Dirk McKenna got this. Well, she did. She won it 100%. Joseph says, how did McKenna win that? But that's the thing, Joseph. That's the thing I always say, that with it, like I said it earlier. Like, if we're not judging it, we're watching it as friends, watching it all together, commentary. It's different to you watching it as a judge and scoring it. And also when you watch things live, you see the emotion and stuff in people's face. You see someone get hit, and you see how they react to getting hit. And that makes a big difference. Like, it's not like sometimes the shots don't seem like they hurt the person, but if you're watching it live, you're like, oh shit, he hurt him. There's been a few times in fights where, like, I could tell either my guy or the other guy was in serious trouble, you know, but it didn't eventuate that way. And when you watch it back on TV, it doesn't look like anything happened, you know, in that exchange. But when you watched it live, you're like, no, man, that rang his bell. I saw that, you know. Say, Fab, have you ever fought or wrestled professionally? And if not, would you consider doing it? No, I never competed professionally. I've competed in grappling and that, but not thing. And I competed like in Taekwondo and that growing up as a kid. But nah, never. I'll never. I've been around too many good fighters, too many proper tough guys to know that wasn't for me. You know, like I was always lucky enough to be around some really, really good top level fighters growing up, and I just knew that wasn't for me. I don't have that mindset, that thing that makes me want to fight like someone like Rob or other guys, like boxers that have been around and that they're just built different, you know. They actually want to fight. I don't want to fight. I can't think of something that I want to do less than fight. But I like grappling and that. I haven't grappled for a while. Now I'm 40 as well. Like, I'm not interested in fighting or anything like that. So yeah. Just Fab today. Yes, Eli is a fireman and he got called in to be a fiery. This fight that's coming now, BrendanAllen versus Sean Strickland, I'm super pumped for it. It's at a catch weight. I believe that Sean got called in at late notice. So BrendanAllen has actually got really good jiu-jitsu, really, really good jiu-jitsu, can wrestle, and he's got good jiu-jitsu. So I'm looking forward to it. Sean Strickland has beaten some really tough guys. One of the guys that he's beaten is Tom Breeze, very good guy fighting. Now he's fighting out of Birmingham. I believe he trains at a Renegade gym in Birmingham. He's one of Leon Edwards' training partners. So I like Sean Strickland. I like him a lot because he has beaten some really good guys. I want to see how he handles BrendanAllen's jiu-jitsu, because in the past that's been, I wouldn't say his weakness, because he's also done quite well against some really good people on the ground. But this is going to be a good fight. This is a bit of a sleeper, fight. Sean has been King of the Cage middleweight champion, and BrendanAllen has been Legacy middleweight champion. And Legacy has produced some very, very, very good talent for the UFC. Brandon Royval was the champion at flyweight at Legacy. So they've got some really, really good guys, you know. So I think this is going to be one of the better fights on the card, if not the best fight. Like, I'm really, really pumped for it. I think both these guys bring it. Both these guys are hungry. Both these guys are they're veteran enough but young enough to do something in the division. And I do believe that both of these guys are quite capable of doing some real damage in the 185-pound division. So very, very, very interesting. Hassan Ahmed, I have long hair and it gets in my way sometimes. You have to have a high ponytail, braid it, or cover it with a hat. Fashion tips with Hassan Ahmed, guys. The Birmingham brawler. The brawler from the back streets of Bangladesh, because that is where he's from. Clay Guida is a crazy man, Coach Fab. He's an exception to the rule, laugh out loud. Yeah, he is, man. He 100% is. Eli is saving a cat from a tree as we speak, mate. He's saving kittens, peeping into people's windows. If you're anywhere in Sydney, guys, keep your shutters drawn because Eli will peep in your windows. So just be careful with that. Bom Ajabu says, hello, everyone. And Andy Encarnacion Martinez says, hello. Hello to both of yous. Coach Fab, serious question here. Which one is harder to understand? How the UFC ranking works or what is considered a significant strike? Laugh out loud. Man, you know what's funny is that isn't actually a real question, eh? Because significant strikes, I find it really weird. Again, it's what I'm saying to you. Like, the problem is that the people that count the significant strikes are not the same people that are counting whether it's a significant strike, if that makes sense. Because the judges are the ones that really have the final say on what they think was a significant strike. Whereas I might think that was a significant strike, but I'm not judging the fight. So that I find it kind of weird to do, you know, that to begin with. The UFC ranking doesn't work. The UFC ranking system is a popularity contest. I mean, it certainly works for the UFC as far as let's get the big money fights, etc. So I can't shit on them. I was talking to Hassan, and the reality is, like, you don't watch the fights anymore. You watch the UFC. You know, if you had this same card, but you had it as a different promotion, you wouldn't watch it. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't watch it even if it was a better card. So the UFC does a fantastic job of that. But the rankings don't reflect who's the best fighters. I think Charles Oliveira should be right up there in the lightweight division, you know, like right up there. One's like 8 in a row, the most finishes. So yeah, that's how I see that. And the significant strike, it's hard, man, because you've never been leg kicked. You don't know, you know, and if you've never been body punched, you've never been hit in the liver, you don't know. You don't know what that does, you know. You don't know how bad, and you also don't understand how bad of a place that person is moving forward into the fight. Like, say you got hit with 2 big liver shots in the first round. I know that not only was that a significant strike in the first round, but it's still significant moving into the 4th or 5th. So it's also like how you going to even judge what a significant strike is, because you could have copped a big shot in the first round to the head, maybe even got dropped, but you regained your equilibrium and you're good. That's one thing, and it's still affected. It will affect your cardio. Don't get me wrong. Getting hurt, getting hit does affect your cardio. But body shots are different, you know, so they're significant, but they're different, you know. So let's see, we're about to start. Herb Dean's walking into the middle. I'm really, really pumped to see, is BrendanAllen going to be able to get it off? One of the things that happens with BrendanAllen is that he tends to be a little bit reckless, and that's one of the things that can make him come undone later in fights or in fights. And we are off. No glove touch. I think there's a little bit of bad blood between both these gentlemen. Calf kick landed by BrendanAllen. He's holding the center of the octagon. He's looking in very good shape. Sean Strickland, very, very upright with his stance. Allen is very, very aggressive. Sean's looking very relaxed, but his chin is kind of up. Allen is just threw a nice right high kick, doubled up on the jab, but he got hit with an overhand right by Sean. Left rip to the body by Allen, and these guys are throwing heat. They're throwing. Sean looks very, very relaxed, just throwing jabs, but one-off jabs. He's threw a jab to a kind of looping left hook. He's slowly regaining the middle of the octagon. throwing that jab out. Starting to find a home for the jab too, is Sean. Very relaxed. Threw a left hand, then dipped off to the side. He's caught BrendanAllen's kick, and he's gotten the takedown. BrendanAllen throws a up kick, but he's very relaxed. He looks like he's in no rush to get up, and Sean joins him on the ground. Very, very nice. He's got an open guard, does Allen. He looks very, very relaxed. Sean also seems that he knows what's going on here. He doesn't want to extend his arms. He's not doing anything to put himself in danger. But like a reverse armbar put on by BrendanAllen. BrendanAllen looks very, very comfortable off his back here. He looks very, very, very comfortable. He's looking to slide his hip out to the left. He's looking for an armbar here, I think. He's got his guard open. Sean is landing shots. Oh, nice big shot by Sean landed. Sean has taken his back. He's kind of riding him over now. And Allen, this is interesting because I think that Allen may have wanted to test how good Sean was from the top, and I don't think it went the way that Allen wanted it to go. Now Sean is landing elbows here from this ride position. He's got him up against the cage. He's still maintaining his back. He's got one hook in now. This is interesting. I had Sean going for the striking, but Allen looked quite aggressive in the striking. I think that Sean's going to gas him out here a little bit, and then I think that Sean has a superior striking. But Sean is winning the grappling exchanges. He's taken his back. He's landing little punches now with his left hand. Nice. Now landed 2 punches, 1-2 on the break. Again, this is what I don't like. Sean did not cut off the octagon there. He was kind of standing off to the side and let Allen regain all that real estate to the point that Allen is now back in the center of the octagon. But Sean is landing the 1-2s straight into Allen's head. Allen's moving forward, left, right, landed by Sean from a very upright position, left, right again. Right to the body by Allen, holding the center of the octagon, kick up the middle by Allen. Sean, but stiff jab knocks Sean's head back. But Sean doesn't seem disturbed at all by any of this. Right hand over the top landed by Sean. BrendanAllen lands a right hand and then a flying knee, but the flying knee comes off Sean's arms now. Sean has Allen up against the cage, kind of letting him off the cage, and now he's let him off the cage completely. I don't like that. But I'm not criticizing him. Double jab landed by Allen. I'm not criticizing him. I'm just saying what I think. I'm sure that Sean has his own plan and his own experience, and he knows what he's doing. I'm just pointing out what I think, from what I can see. Inside left kick landed by BrendanAllen. Pouring left jabs by Strickland. 1-2 landed by Strickland. 1-2. Left hook landed by Allen. Nice left hook. Nice left hook landed by Allen. 1-2 by Sean. Left hook over the top by Allen. It's finding a home, that left hook. It's like a kind of check hook, but so is Strickland's 1-2. Nice 1-2. Nice. Very nice. Kind of jumping kick there landed by Strickland at the same time as a kick was landed by Allen. Sean still looking for that 1-2. Still pouring away now at that left, at the 1-2. One, but missed by Allen. Right hand missed by Allen. Standing in the middle here. Right hand landed by Sean. Another right hand landed by Sean. Left kick to the body by Sean. 1-2 again. Allen's taken him on the arm, but it's definitely hitting him as well. It's definitely hitting him. They're clinching up against the cage. Sean has a very nice underhook here, and he's holding this position. 26 seconds left. Sean might be winning this. Another 1-2 landed by Sean. It's a close fight. Again, like I said, I'm not judging the fight, so it's hard to say. Stiff jabs landed by both guys. Left kick to the head landed by Sean, but Allen attacks with a flurry of punches, pushes Sean back into the cage. Both guys moving quite well here. I don't know who takes this fight, who's taking this round yet. Sean's continuously looking for that 1-2. The problem that's happening is, some respect here, they both tap gloves at the end of that. What's happening here, man, is Sean is throwing that 1-2 over and over. And whilst it's not landing flush, people, and again, talking about significant strikes, you're wearing 4-ounce gloves. You know what I mean? There's not a lot there. You know what I mean? Like I said, 4 ounce plus 4 ounces, 8 ounces. It's like you're getting hit by a boxing glove flush in the face. So eventually, if you're just taking those shots like that, it's going to mark up your face. It's going to concuss you. It's going to make damage. You know, there's small gloves. You can't, like that. This boxing defense like this, it's not going to work. You're going to, there's kicks coming through. There's shins coming through to the forearms. that'll break your arm. There's shots coming through to your head, so it's not going to really work. Like, you can't just keep walking into those shots. So I don't know who won that first round. Again, I'm not judging the fight, but I don't know. Like, when I watch it, I think Sean, but I don't know. I'm not judging. It's hard. I wouldn't want that job. That is one job I wouldn't want. 1-2 again, thrown by Sean. Another stiff jab. Left hand over the top by Allen. Flying knee followed by a right hand. Left hook landed on Sean Strickland, but a right hand thrown by Sean on the break landed on Allen's chin. Both guys displaying that they have good chins. Nice stiff jab. 1, 2, 3 landed by Sean, pushing Allen back. Again, these are not hitting at all. They weren't even hitting the arms. The 1, 2. This looping left hook that Allen is throwing is finding a home for Sean. Sean moves his head back a lot when he leans back, and Allen's also must have taken note of this, and he's throwing a left looping hook to where Sean is going to be rather than where he is. Very, very smart on Allen's part, but he is taking a lot of 1-2s to the face. Just straight 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 again by Sean. Over the top right hand landed by Allen. Sean just seems to hold that center of the calf kick is something that I want to see Brendan utilize more against Sean. He's had nothing but success with it, but Sean is just landing those 1-2s, just landing those nice little tidy 1-2s straight down the middle, and he just keeps doing the damage. 1-2, 1-2. He's landing them, pouring away with little jabs, landing them straight on Brendan's face again. 1-2 again. Now see that guard that he's got, that nice little high guard. It doesn't work the best in MMA. He's dropped him with a right hand. He's in trouble. He's going to finish it. He's dropped him. He's finished him. Sean has finished the fight. Again, what I was saying to you is you cannot take those shots, even though it doesn't look like it's hurting you. You can't walk through and take 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, one after the other, even though it didn't look like Sean was loading up a lot, but he's walking straight into him, and at some point it's going to catch you. A lot of times it's catching him in the face, but it's only going to be a matter of time how many he was taking, how many was being thrown until something caught him on the chin, and it did. And here you'll see it goes nice stiff jab, boom, right on the temple, and then on the side of the face there, kind of got him on the jaw, and then these ones, it was over. So that was pretty impressive performance by Sean. I believe on late notice, hence why it was a catch weight. Sean looked very, very composed. I don't think that he felt that Brendan could hurt him on the feet. Again, like I say to you, the win that Sean has over Tom Breese, although it was a split decision and it was a close fight, I just feel it was such a good win. I think that before Tom Breese went on a bad string of injuries, he had like a bad problem with his knees. I know this, that he had like I don't know if it was reoccurring ligament tears or something like that, or if he had lax ligaments in his knees. I don't know. I'm reaching. If someone who knows, please tell me. But before that, I think that he was one of the most dangerous guys coming up in the middleweight division. That was my opinion on him. I actually had him pegged as a future person for Rob to fight. So yeah, that was someone that I had in the sights, but then he had a whole bunch of injuries and whatnot, and maybe he comes back from that. How long do you think it will take for the UFC to turn Fight Island into the Thunderdome? Glad to hear you're enjoying life. That's you and Ferguson. Man, you know what it feels like now with the UFC and like the way that everything's going and everything with COVID, and it feels like Rome back in the days, and UFC's a Colosseum, and then you've got all the little circuses like all around different areas and that, and people watching, trying to get into the Circus Maximus, and like feeding the masses bread and whatnot, so that keeps people entertained. That's what I feel like. It's like watching Rome back in the day. Jack Fraser, yes, he's a funny fella. Huge fan, Fab. Good on you, and sorry for the repeat question, Oliver Ekman. Oliver, ask all the questions you like, my friend. Thank you very much, man. I can't tell you guys how much we appreciate the support. Like you guys watching and everything, it's the best. Khabib posted on the IG that today USADA is testing for the 47th time since 2012. Is this normal opinions? I know like those guys like Khabib, Rob, and all of that, they're going to be tested a lot. I know Rob got tested a whole bunch of times, like How many times, I don't know, but a lot. Thank you, Valeria. Thank you very much for, again, keeping us going. My daughter eating today. Thanks to you. She's sick. My daughter's sick, guys. Thanks to Valeria, she'll eat. We'll try and make her some cornmeal soup or something. Is it normal? Yeah, look, I think it is normal to be testing, especially the high-profile champions and whatnot. My opinions on it, I think that there's a lot of loopholes to the test. Like I've said before, they can test you. So if they come to test you and you aren't there, like let's say you hide under a ring or something, right, and you're not there, you just get a black mark next to your name. Now, you can have steroids that clear your body in 24 hours. So if they turn up and I'm not there, like say, Valeria, you're training with me, and they turn up and they say, hey, Fab, we're here to test Valeria. And I say, really? She's not here. And they say, no, she put on her whereabouts that she was going to be here. And I say, you know what? She's crazy, man. She writes it, then she doesn't turn up. Then you just get a black mark next to your name. And then they just turn up another day to come and test you. You can have 3 black marks in a year, so just on that, it's hard to get caught. Then if you've got, the right people looking after you and blah, 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 I don't know. I think that if you get caught, it's more of an IQ test than an actual physiological test, because I don't think it's that hard. Another thing that happens is, let's say you don't get tested before a fight for whatever reason. Let's say you're super hydrated before the fight. They can't. Your urine's too clear. It's not going to come up on the test. So they'll just say, all right, your test is not. It's not valid. It's too. You're too hydrated. You keep drinking, even though they tell you don't drink, whatever. You got to fight. Fuck you. I'm not going to get brain damage. I'm going to keep drinking. Then after the fight, straight after the fight, if you say, hey, man, I'm injured. My brain's ringing. I'm out of equilibrium. I need to go to the hospital. They then take you to the hospital because that now takes priority. And any subsequent tests thereafter are now medical record. So you can do that as well, So, I mean, yeah, it's normal, but that's my opinions on the testing. I don't think, I'm not talking anything about Khabib, but I don't think that a lot of people are clean. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't think that. Shaq Isbal says, big up from Beham. I'm assuming that's Birmingham. And then he goes, Hassan, yes, bro, big up. Brum. Yes, I'm back streets of Bangladesh, yeah. The Bengal, mate, the Bengal. They keep him chained to a wall in Birmingham and they feed him raw meat. Timothy, the rankings are unfair sometimes. The rankings are unfair all the time. Jack Fraser, I wonder what the all-time record is for guys with their last name tattooed on their backs. It's crazy, eh? Like, I find that, I don't find it bad. I don't think it's a bad thing. I just find it, just like I've always wondered that, Nick, as a coach, how hard is it to give out instructions during the round? Because I imagine the coach would be very nervous for the guy. How do you keep your composure? Me personally, I think everything has to be practiced. So that's something you practice as well. When you guys are sparring, like I believe, this is just me. I'm just talking me, just the alcohol talking here, guys. I think that when you have, first of all, when you do sparring, there's different types of sparring. But you should do your sparring, your hard sparring once a week or something like that, or once a fortnight, but where it's more of an event. So one guy spars another guy and it's as real to a fight as possible. I know I'm not criticizing, but everyone's different, right? And everyone's made champions differently. But sometimes when you have 10 guys sparring on the one mat, not only is it closer, more risk of injury, somebody falling on the other person, but it doesn't allow the coach and the synergy to develop the same way that if you do it as real as possible. You have 2 guys, they have their cornerman, everyone's got their cornerman, people are watching, fight in an octagon if possible, or in a room that looks like an octagon, as close as possible resemblance to an octagon, and you fight in there, and then the coaches are giving instructions just like they would in a fight. And you learn and you practice that and you get better at doing that. Otherwise, exactly like Nick asked, which I think is a great question. Like, it doesn't work, man. It doesn't work, and you have to practice with the coaches you're going to coach with. Like a lot of times it's hard because people think like, if I get the biggest name in jiu-jitsu that I can find, the biggest name in wrestling that I can find, and the biggest name in kickboxing that I can find, that's my best corner. But no, they don't have necessarily the best synergy. And the worst thing that could happen is these guys talking over each other. They don't get on. It's just a shit environment. So practicing it with who you're going to coach with, and making sure that is the best combination for your guy is the best thing. And then usually what happens is you'll have one coach that will be the one that mainly speaks throughout the thing. This is my opinion, not everyone does it different. One coach that speaks, and then you might have specialist coaches that if the fight goes to the ground, you might have the jiu-jitsu coach speak, or the jiu-jitsu coach might speak to you and you speak to your guy. But really, man, to be honest with you, by the time you get there, you should just be able to give small tidbits of information or cues that your fighter is going to be able to pick up on. You're not talking your fighter through fighting. Like, that guy knows how to fight. If you're screaming shit out the whole time, I don't think it's that good, to be honest with you. So that's me. Nah, you don't leave the talent pool, Vassetti, straight away. Because what happens is you could say, I retire, juice to the gills, and then come back, Sup, Fab, are you staying on for Crawford versus Brook? Oh, man, I would love to. I would love to. I have to see that. I have to see. I would love to hang around for that, but I don't know. I haven't yet. Maybe it's not on Khabib's mind right now. Who could say, Hassan? I don't know, Hassan, if that's the case. But usually, as soon as you retire, you don't leave the pool anyways. Just joined. Where is Mr. Eli? Eli, again, like I said before, Eli is a fireman, and he got called in last minute to protect the streets of Sydney. I think that, like I said to everyone else, if you have windows, keep your shutters drawn, because he's a peeping Tom. He's a recidivist offender, is Mr. Eli, as far as that kind of thing is concerned. So just stay safe if you're in Sydney, because he'll do more damage than good, that one. Oh, nice. Never knew you were covering this one. Yeah, man, I'm going to try and do as many as I can. I actually enjoy it. Like, I really enjoy the conversation and the banter with you guys. It's honestly really, really good, man. I really enjoy it. And I honestly thank you guys so much for the support and for making it possible for this to happen. So thank you. Hassan Noor says, I am worried about the hostage. Oh, Eli is a hostage negotiator. He got called in for work. Man, yes, Hassan Noor, I can imagine Eli as a hostage negotiator. One thing about Eli can actually fight. He's a good jiu-jitsu guy, but he beat a lot of guys in boxing, in amateur boxing. I think he's got 1 or 2 wins over Ben Edwards in amateur boxing, I think back in the day, or in pro boxing. I'm not sure. But if you guys don't know who Ben Edwards is, look him up. And Eli's got wins over that guy. Mad respect to Ben Edwards too. But Ben Edwards fought like over him and that in K1 Heroes, and Eli has a win over him. So yeah, no, he can actually bang it out. But I would not be comfortable with him negotiating milk at the shops for me. So I hope he's not a hostage negotiator. That is one thing I don't have any faith in him. Who else here? What did you all think of that women's fight? Had that American lass winning at least 2 rounds personally? Me too. I thought that. That's what I said earlier. Like, but when you have a 10-point must system, you only have to win the round. You know what I mean? And I thought she won it though. You know what I mean? But I'm not. I also, like I said, like, I'm not live. I don't see the shots the same way, here as you would live. I don't see people's reactions. I don't get to see how much something hurts someone and whatnot. So, and I'm also not watching the fight, judging it. I'm watching the fight, talking to you guys, commentating on what I see and blah, blah, blah. And I'm caught up in that. Whereas judging is very different. You're not caught up in that. You're not caught up in trying to tell people what's happening. You're caught up in hitting the criteria, like you're marking an essay, That's one way of looking at it. It's like you're marking an essay versus when I'm watching it, I'm not marking an essay. I'm reading a book that I like. Do you know what I mean? They're two very different things. So when you're judging, you're marking an essay. When I'm watching reading a book that I like. It's a very, very, very different thing. Do I have a favorite UFC finish or fight? Man, one of my favorite fights of all time was a 1-round fight. Was Paul Daly versus Nick Diaz, and it wasn't in the UFC. And that to me was like just a fucking crazy fight between two very, 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 very good guys. I don't know, man. Paul Felder, I'm watching him walk in, and he still looks kind of drawn in his face, whereas RDA looks very comfortable. He looks like he's rehydrated really well. He doesn't look as drawn. Felder still kind of looks drawn in the face. What does that mean? I don't know. How much do you know about Carlos Ulberg? How do you see him going in the middleweight division? I didn't think Carlos Ulberg was a middleweight. Is he a middleweight? Hold on, let me see. Because I've seen him fight, but it wasn't a middleweight. And I see if he can make middleweight, I see him going very, very well because he's a very good fighter. He can hit very, very hard. Any weight that he fights at, I think he's going to be very good. I think he's got a good camp. He's got good people around him. Got great sparring partners. I think he's going to go very well, regardless of what weight. I'd be surprised if he fights a middleweight though. Where did you hear that he's fighting at middleweight? Because everywhere I look, and from what I knew, he fought at light heavyweight and heavyweight. He's a big boy, but if he's fighting at middleweight, I mean, fuck, if he can make middleweight comfortably, then he's going to bash a lot of people because he's a big guy. Yeah, I don't know. Hold on, I'm just looking this up now. I haven't seen anything to say that he's a middleweight. Yeah, so if please tell me that. I don't know. Who did you think won in the women's fight? I thought the other girl won, but like I said, but I'm watching like I said, I'm just watching like this. Bad corner. I don't know. Again, Tim, I don't know what they were saying. Randy, I'm trying to donate, but keep getting error messages. I'm a ban and would love to support the show. Just wanted to know how you think the Edwards fight will go and why do you think it will go that way? We're going to do a breakdown and predictions closer to the fight. Probably soon anyways, not that much further away. But I don't think that I don't know. I don't know that Chimaev can necessarily hold him down. You know what I mean? For 5 rounds, that's a big ask. And then I think that if Edwards can start finding a home for his elbow, that he's got a lovely elbow the way he throws it. I think he's very good at breaking fighters' rhythms and breaking their patterns. Like their movement patterns and the way they move. And Edwards just has a way of making it really kind of sloppy for him. Like, not for him, he's not sloppy. He starts just finding a home for that elbow, cuts them, makes them feel uncomfortable. And I don't know if Chimaev's going to do with that. There are a few things that I want to talk about with that fight, but I think I'm going to save that more for when we do the breakdown and the prediction. Randy writes, big fan. Thank you, Randy. Coach Fab, Chandler or Ferguson? Man, Chandler or Ferguson? I don't know. I don't know because Ferguson has gone through a lot of adversity at the moment. Normally I'd say to you Ferguson. I would have said to you Ferguson. But I think Chandler might do it. I think Chandler might do it against Ferguson now, who Ferguson is today. I don't know that. And I could be wrong. I'd love to see some more of Ferguson now. You know what I mean? I think Chandler might do it. I think he might do it. I think Ferguson's been through a bunch of different things, and I don't know. And I think Chandler's still hungry, still after it. I compare Chandler very, very similar to Eddie Alvarez. Super tough guys, good boxing, good top control. Man, he beat Henderson recently. It wasn't in UFC, it was in Bellator. He beat Henderson. He's good, man. He's good. I think Ferguson can give him trouble, but Ferguson has been held down as well by people as well before. I don't know that. I think Chandler can either find his chin or hold him down. That's what I think. Yeah, Jason Correa. Strickland's a fucking good fighter, man. He's very, very, very good. Chili Miners, also big up Beham. Thank you, man. I hope to visit Birmingham one day. Now, it seems like we have a very strong connection with Birmingham. There's more people from Birmingham support Grange TV than people from the Grange, people from Liverpool, people from Southwest Sydney. There's more people from Birmingham. Stay on, man. I would love to hear the Crawford fight commentary. Man, I would love to, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. That's all. Just because it's like the middle of the day on a Sunday, and I've left my wife with a sick daughter, and I could just end up with a sick daughter, no wife, if I keep it up. Fab, predictions on Yan versus Sterling and Megan versus Nunes. How could Megan beat someone like Nunes who seems invincible? Yan versus Sterling, man, that's a good fight. I think Jan's stand-up is too good, my opinion, for anyone really right now. I think he's like a master of sport in boxing, and that it's high level boxing in the Russian system, in the Eastern Bloc system. And he's another guy like in Israel that's been able to bring high level of striking, Rob as well, and then get their grappling going to a point where they can grapple with grapplers, And I think that whilst Aljo has got really, really good grappling and really good, he does have a good striking, but Jan's on a different level, man, with his striking. Outside of getting caught, 5 rounds, I don't see Aljamain out wrestling him for 5 rounds, and I can't see him out striking him for 5 rounds. So I think that Jan is going to get it done. Megan versus Nunes. Like, Megan's from here, so I'll go for Megan. I think she's a big girl, and on the feet, she can give anyone a run. She's got proper good stand-up. But I don't know, man. Like, Nunes is a monster. Like, she's one of those girls. Honestly, I'll tell you this. Like, there isn't a lot of girls like where you're like, I've been near Nunes and she scares the fuck out of me. Like, she scares me. Like, I see her hit the pads. I see her walk around. She's fucking broad, man. She's broad and she's big and she's scary. More on that in a second. We're about to start. Bell's ringing. Bell rang a little bit prematurely. Eli left me with it. Okay, girls are here. They're touching gloves. Yoder is, I'm probably saying her name wrong, but Yoder is in the middle, in the blue, controlling the center of the octagon. Granger is in the black. Yoder's looking for the little leg kicks here. Oh, left hand landed by Yoder. Big left hand. Now she's going for, looks like she's going to go for a head throw here, like a judo style head throw. She's trying to get her hips in to throw. Okay, she's got now a deep underhook. She's got it on the other side. She's definitely going for a head throw here. But I don't think she has a position or the hip positioning or anything to do it, because Granger has sunk her hips in against the cage, so she's not going to pull this throw off. And now she's got turned. Yeah, so that's exactly what happened. She got turned. She didn't have the angle there. And Granger was too clever, too savvy to let her, like, she sunk her hips down and back into the cage to not be able to get thrown. I didn't know that Yoder had that particular throw in her arsenal. Yeah, nice little judo things here by Yoder. So Yoder went for an uchimata, and then she changed in the air and she went for an armbar. That was very, very good. Okay, Yoder, someone to be careful with the grappling. Right hand landed by Granger. Left hand answers by Yoder. We have southpaw versus conventional here. Another kick to the legs. They're both girls answered each other's kicks, although Granger looked like she had the more powerful kick. Left hand snaps Yoder's head back. Granger lands a right kick. Right hand afterwards. Yoder's getting hit with that right hand lead. Now she's pushing Granger back. They're swinging punches. She's gone for the throw and she gets her head throw. She's been looking for the head throw from the very, very start. So she's going to, I don't know if she's going to go for that like kind of diaphragm head crank thing, that scarf hold, whatever you want to call it. It's got a lot of different names, but she's got a very, very tight hold here. She can turn this into a head arm choke. She can turn it into that diaphragm scarf hold, but she hasn't got the elbow. She hasn't controlled the elbow, and Granger's getting out from the back. There's no danger now. Granger's going to get out. She's going to get out from this position. She looks like she's transitioning into some sort of leg lock here. I think that well, if there's a scramble here, she can go for a heel hook here. She could go for a heel hook. There is a scramble. She's out the back door. Again, they're scrambling again. There's a knee bar here now open for Yoder. Is she going to be able to get it? She looks like she's got the angle there, but there's a cage that's stopping Granger from falling back into the cage. Granger should land some big shots here. She's stacking her. Yoder can switch here. She can switch and get across. If she can kick her right leg across. Now she's starting to make some space. Granger's doing well to stack her here. She's doing a good job stacking Yoder. Landing shots to the body. Her leg's almost out of danger, is Granger's. And Yoder could be in danger of getting flattened out into like a kind of smash pass, which then allows Granger to pass quite easily into either side control or just stay there and land heavy, heavy ground and pound. She's doing a great job here, stacking her here in this position. And she's landing the heavy ground and pound, exactly like I said. Very, very nice. So she's got her in a smash pass, but Yoder's got good hips, and she's got back here. Full guard does Yoder. She's got a body triangle. Now, a body triangle from that position in particular, I don't necessarily like, as it doesn't let you move that much in MMA. But it seems like Yoder does have very good hips, and so she could be looking for something else. She looks like she's looking for an armbar, but Granger seems aware of it. She's got her elbows nice and tucked, and now she's postured. What I'd like to see Yoder do from this position here is to get up. When somebody gives you that space in MMA, you have to kick up and get up. You can't sit there when the person has postured up. They're going to land shot after shot on you. So as soon as they posture up, if you're the person in guard, you got to kick and get up and start again. Okay, now she's looked like she's got a triangle. It looks deep. It looks pretty deep. I can't see the refs in the way. This triangle is in deep. I think it's over. And now she's gone for an armbar. This is over. It's over. She's got it. If she gets out of this, mate, I am super impressed with Granger if she gets out of it. She did. She sat back. She put her legs across and she got out. I thought that armbar was on, and it's not. Yoder still has a triangle on. But Granger's answering the phone, so she's defending that. It's not on her yet. Yoder has to clear these legs. Otherwise, she's not going to be able to get up to finish the triangle. So you need to get your chest near the other person, and she has to create an angle for the triangle. This triangle is not going to finish Yoder. There's 1 second to go. It's done. I'd probably give Yoder that round. I would have to give Yoder that round. Yeah, I'd give Yoder that round. But there were things there I think that Yoder could have really capitalized on, but she kind of missed a few little small things, but she looked very impressive. But she did get hit with that right hand by the other girl. So I think that Granger will land that right hand in this first round against Yoder. I think that's what I believe that her coaches are going to tell her, to kick that lead leg of Yoder's. So Granger's going to find a home for that lead leg with inside right kicks, and she's going to hit her with a lead right hand. I believe that this is the adjustments that Granger's going to make heading into this round. Yoder will probably have slowed down a little bit in her takedown attempts. And I think that I'm not saying that Granger's going to win. I'm just saying she's probably going to find a home for that kick and that right hand. So here we go. We're off. Yoder's holding the center of the octagon, and Granger feints with the right hand, and she paws away with a jab, and she moves away from the cage. Again, there was no attempt to cut the cage off by by Yoder. Now Yoder's got her back to the cage. I'd like to see that kick there. I believe that she's open. So she's going, yeah, I don't like that. I would have liked to have seen that adjustment made because she did have some success with it. Now she's got a good arm control, does Granger, but I don't like this for Granger. I would have liked her to just hit the right hand, land the lead right hand, but now she's got her up against the cage, landed a nice upward elbow. But I believe this is going to benefit Yoder. I believe Yoder's going to get this throw now. I believe she's going to get this takedown. She's got head control, and she's got a nice deep underhook. She's got a nice clinch in the back there, and she's going to land some knees. She's going to work on it, but I do believe she's going to at some point get a takedown here. Granger now has Yoder's back to the octagon. She's got good head control. Yoder's landing knees from there, but they're exchanging knees. They're just exchanging knees in there. Both girls are pummeling for a better position, but Granger's winning these exchanges. She's landing the knees. She's got better head control. Yoder keeps looking for that head throw. I'd like to see Granger make some space and land that right hand that I think Yoder is susceptible to. And I'd like to see her kick the lead leg. Both girls exchanging. Both girls are really long. Yoder's continuously looking for that head throw. Shoulder strikes by Granger. Both girls exchanging, but Granger's getting the better of these exchanges here. Both girls exchanging knees, but Granger has Yoder's back to the cage. Here we go. Failed head throw attempt by Yoder. Sees them kind of caught up in a position here where if Yoder can land on top, but I believe that Granger can land on top, but I think that Yoder's, if she can get her hands free, is gonna transition into a leg lock here. She's gonna finish on top. She could finish on top. Granger, I believe, is going to be looking for her back, and she may get it. It's a race between these positions. Yoder has a leg lock there. If she wants to go for it, she could go for it, but just by the way that they've landed here in this kind of half guard. But Granger still has very much control of the body. Granger's looking to take her back, but she's not going to be able to do so. And Yoder, I believe, here may at some point transition to a leg lock. I think that she backs herself with her jiu-jitsu and she's quite creative. But Granger still continued. Now now she's gone and Yoder has landed on top. I don't think that Granger's going to have any luck off her back here. Yoder's moving up. She's got shoulder pressure here. This shoulder pressure is very, very important in any grappling exchange. She's going to landing some nice ground and pound to the body there. And I think she's going to work and try and transition her way up into a head arm choke. Granger still has that defense on the bicep, which is great. But like this, I think Yoder's going to hold her down. There's 1 minute, 24 seconds left. And I don't see, again, this Kimura from this position is hard to finish, man. You got to be a high level person. I'd be really, really surprised if she pulls it out. Yeah, no, she's not going to be able to do that. And now she's susceptible to that head arm choke if Yoder can do it. Yoder's way too high up her arm, way too high up her body for her to be able to do this Kimura from this position. But I'll tell you this, both these girls are so flexible that I don't even know how this works, you know what I mean? With some of the ways that these joints have moved. Like, I thought Granger was caught in that armbar earlier. I thought for sure she's caught in this armbar. Not the triangle because she already had her legs over. But for sure the armbar. But no, they're super flexible, these girls. So I don't even know how it's going to work as far as joint locks with them. But I think Yoder's going to be able to ride this round out. And again, the way I see it, I have Yoder winning the fight. I just see her closer to having finished the fight. But that's me. I don't know. I'm not judging the fight, but that's just how I see it. I see that Granger had a really good opportunity to establish herself on her feet, and she didn't. I definitely think that the grappling advantage goes to Yoder. That's me. Ange says, what was the fight where DC kept saying the cornermen were talking way too much? I think it was an Anthony Smith fight, but could be wrong. But the corner screaming so much hurt the fighter's performance. Look, I'm not going to say anything against what DC says. DC is DC. But also, again, man, like, you don't, I'm not talking about DC now. I'm just talking, you don't know the relationship between the fighters and the coaches and that. So even with that, I don't know. It's really hard. It's easy to just say it from the outside. But I don't know, because you don't know the relationships with them. Thank you, Roger. You're the best, mate. My wife hates listening to me. I talk forever, apparently. Yeah, it's Anthony Smith and Glover fight. Yeah, again, man, I don't know. I don't know what the relationships are between people, you know. So it's easy to say that, but the relationship between the fighters and the coach, it's different. So we're off in the third round. Again, I'd like to see Granger make that adjustment. I believe that she could find a home for the lead kick, the lead leg of Yoder, and a nice straight right down the middle. I'd like her to make that adjustment. There we go. There's a right down the middle, exactly like I said. So she threw a right hand, left hook. Let's see it again. Throw a right kick to the leg. There we go, but throw it to the lead leg. Yes. Thank you. She's listening. Good. Right kick to the lead leg, and then no, straight right hand. And she'll win this. She'll land it. She made the adjustment. Good on you, Granger. Yes. Yes, that's it. Now throw the right hand down the middle. I'm not going for Granger, just like to say. I'm just saying that that's the adjustment that I think she should have made. Because Yoder will do this all day. She's got very good grappling, and she goes for that body lock. And yeah, that's what happens. Like, I'd really like to have seen Granger use that combination from the start. I think that she would have found a home for that from the very, very start. I'm not going. I don't know Granger or Yoder. I just could see that Yoder was really open for that combination, and I would have liked to have seen Granger use that combination earlier in the fight. Because here in this position, whether Yoder gets this submissions or not, is irrelevant. I don't think that Granger's going to win this. So basically, here we're in side control with Yoder pressing Granger's head up against the cage, facing her away. So it's very hard, because for you to escape this, if you could roll out, maybe you could, but you can't because the cage is there. And because you're facing the other way, you can't hip escape into her. You know, so this is a very, very hard position. She's not, and because what's happening is, well, Granger's kind of holding on to Yoder. So she hasn't got her arms in a position where she can bump and hip escape and make space for her to escape. So it's hard. And Yoder's very good. So Yoder's now moved to full mount. There's 3 minutes to go. I don't think that Granger's going to be able to do enough, irrespective of what happens here, to be able to win this fight. I see her kind of escaping here to the back door, but I also see Yoder's got an armbar now. She's got a position for an armbar. These girls are so flexible, though, that I think they're doing one thing and then they're not. They're doing something completely different. They're very, 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 very flexible. So Yoder here is landing a little bit of ground. I'd like to see her land bigger shots from here. Even if they're landing on the arms, it's good for you, for the refs, to see you landing those shots. You don't know how they're seeing the fight or how they're scoring significant strikes. So from this position here, landing a few good shots. Yes, very good. Very good. Throwing good elbows. Granger has got both feet up on the cage. She's trying to get off the cage. Big elbows landed by Yoder. There's 2 minutes to go. I think she's going to get this finish here. I think she's going to get the finish. I'd like to see her control the wrist here. Control the wrist before the neck. But I think yes. In this position, I'd say control the wrist so you can flatten them out, and then you can land as much ground and pound and go for the choke if you want. Because Granger here can control the wrists, and you can't get the choke. Here, if she can control the wrist, she's just landing ground and pound now. She's landing a lot of ground and pound. She's got a very comfortable mount. Granger's still fighting. These girls, she has to control that wrist. Granger, with the right hand, should control that wrist. She should get that Dagestani handcuff. She should control the wrists there and land. But she's got a body lock on her now as well, like a body triangle. And Granger's not going to get out. She's landing shots like to her back, sort of like where the teres minor is. And that hurts, man. That dead ends the arm. She's not going to get out. Yoder's just way too flexible. She looks like she's a big, strong girl. She's got the body triangle on her. There's a minute to go. Yoder's not going to get out of this. I mean, Granger's not going to get out of this. Yoder's landing the ground and pound from a body triangle position. She's in a perfect position. Now she's controlling that wrist. That wrist is paramount. It's very, very, very important for you to control those wrists in any of those positions. Yes, 39 seconds to go. I don't think that that Granger. Yeah, I think this is the wrap for Granger. Big strikes landing by Yoder. Big shots landing. She's got her own head up against the cage, and that gives her more leverage to land bigger shots. From the body triangle, 16 seconds to go. Keeps landing big shots now. She's got a lot of leverage. She's got the choke on. There's 8 seconds to go. She might even get this. It's 5, 4, 3. Granger's punching her. 1, and it's over. Now, if the refs give that one to Granger, I'd be surprised. That's me. Yeah, I think that one wins. Yeah. Who has a realistic chance of beating Izzy other than Rob in the middleweight division? And I don't see it like that, because I think that fight's a fight, and sometimes like if you look at, say, for example, Jacare versus Rob, and I got all the respect in the world for Jacare, that fight looked more or less one-sided. But if Rob were to fight Jacare again, Jacare can win. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. I think that Israel is really, really good, but I think that Gastelum had him, on skates as well. I think Romero landed a big bomb, and went back and forwards with him and Israel as well. The fights, man, anything can happen. So I think there's a lot of good middleweights, and middleweights hit hard. So I don't know. I'd like to see a little bit more of Hansen as well before I say anything. And there's always good people coming up. So let's have a look. 5 days notice for Felder as well. Yeah, look, sometimes that can work for you, especially if you're a guy that's got heaps of experience, because you haven't put your body through a massive training camp, and you might be fresh, rested and whatnot, and you can get away with that in one fight. So maybe it works against him. I know you're probably busy enough as it is, but I'd love to see you break down fights after the fact, or even as a preview like what Dan Hardy's been doing. Jack Freezer, yeah, you know what, man? I want to do that. I actually do want to do that. And I will transition to that at some point. At the moment, I'll probably just break them down like with Eli, like how we've been doing, just talking about it. And then just finding time, man, because the reality is, like, the channel isn't getting enough views at this point, to pay for it. And I'm not working as an analyst or, in the UFC or for another big organization. So this has to kind of fit in and around full-time work and, other things. So it's a little bit hard to be able to sit down and do those kind of breakdowns quite yet. But I will be doing them for sure. We'll be talking about the previews and whatnot. And we will be doing breakdowns and predictions. But, I will do that. 100% I will do that. So, I really appreciate it. And I appreciate that, Jack, because that's a short sort of shit that gives me the confidence to do it as well. So you're a good person, mate. You just did a bit of social work for a lost kid from the inner suburbs of Southwest Sydney. Thank you. I really wonder how the Gaethje fight affected Ferguson by Timothy. Dude, sometimes it's not just the physiological damage that occurs. It's also like your psychological damage. Like you go from being uncracked, can't be hurt. You might have 1 or 2, but then that fight was scary because Gaethje was just like, I don't give a fuck what you're going to do. I'm going to walk through you and knock you out. So that does affect you when there's a monster. Now that there's a gargoyle out there like Gaethje that is going to walk through you and try and hurt you. I really feel that Granger in this fight could have kicked off a little bit better had she attacked the lead leg and hit with that lead right hand. I really do. Anyone know much about these two girls fighting now? Okay, all right. Timothy says, let's be honest, if she leaves you, she takes the baby. I hope not. I kind of got attached to both of them. Chase Dover, I think Chandler won't crack top 10 in the UFC. Bellator and UFC are on different levels. What do you think? They are and they're not. Like, I think like the depth in the UFC is deeper for sure. But you've seen good guys come through. Like, you know, they said that about Gagey. They said that about Alvarez. They both came over, did really, really well. So, no, I think the top guys generally are right up there as well. It's not the same, like the depth. I wouldn't say the number 5 at Bellator is equal to or above the number 5 at the UFC. No, but the champions, yeah, I see Chandler. I think Chandler might have been a little bit later in his career as well. Like, that's another problem. But no, I don't think that Chandler is not top 10 in the UFC. No, I don't. I think that he's right up there with some of the best guys in the world. Like, he's got wins over Eddie Alvarez, got wins over Henderson. Both these guys were UFC champions, and he beat them both. So, you know, I think him and Patricky and guys like that are fucking right up there, like as good as anyone in the UFC or anywhere else. Yeah. And Carlos practices with Izzy, who is a middleweight, but nothing on him moving to middleweight. Yeah, man, he's a fucking big guy, dude. Like Israel could fight middleweight and light heavyweight, and Carlos would fight light heavyweight and heavyweight. I can't see Carlos making middleweight, but how good can he do? I'm always been a fan of like kickboxers that transition over or boxers that transition over, because if they can get their grappling game right and adapt their striking to MMA, it's very hard, man, because it's like hitting the ground with a jiu-jitsu guy. Yeah, granted, the jiu-jitsu guy has to get you to the ground, but those high-level jiu-jitsu guys like Damian Maia, someone like that, Jacare, if they get you down and they start getting the techniques off, you don't know where to go. You can't catch up with them. The pressure's different. Everything, the use of space is different. And these top-level strikers like Peter, Jan, Izzy, and whatnot, their use of space, their use of pressure, their use of distance, their ability to hit, their timing is completely different. Completely fucking different, you know? So I love seeing that at work, you know? The Toka, stand-up boards blokes. Randy, stand-up paddle boards. Chili Miners, sup in a cold one, watching these scraps. The Toka, I bet Yoder, she's a broad. Does anyone else have trouble donating? Does Granger own Granger TV? Oh, Toka, you fucking monster. That was, mate, I was thinking who's going to rip that one out of the archives, and it was the Toka. And then the Toka comes out of nowhere and smashes Randy and says, Randy, nope. He answers nope with a $4.99 donation. Toka, you're the man or the woman. I don't know what you are. Seems to be an kind of unisex name there, like Blake. But I just want to say thank you so much, Toka, man. You don't understand how much these things help out. This will now donate to probably breakfast for my daughter tomorrow. Thank you very much, man. Really, really appreciate it. Randy, it seems like it really suits you that it doesn't work for you right now. I bet your credit card works when you go shopping. Nunes versus Cejudo is the fight to make, coach. You know what's interesting, though? I'll tell you this. You know, when you watch like military training, like military fights, and it's usually about 30% heavier the girls are when they fight the guys at full pelt, like full contact. And if guy and girl at the same weight, if they can both fight, testosterone is real. So it's a massive difference between like the guys and the girls. Like Cejudo would beat Nunes easily. Not, and that's like Nunes would punch a fuck out of me. I can guarantee you that. But no, she wouldn't beat a guy, like a good guy. No. She'd beat decent guys, but not the equivalent of her. You know, she is a fucking freak amongst women. So if she were to fight a freak amongst men like a Cejudo, it wouldn't even be close. I'm not going to say it, just look up your own research. Research like the Williams sisters when they played tennis against like the 200th ranked men. Usually if you watch, like, you can research this stuff. Like, say, for example, a women's soccer team, like a top grade women's soccer team, will train with like 15s and 16-year-old boys to get like that a kind of even run. So it's a big difference, man. Like testosterone is a massive fucking thing. That's why it's such a big thing when people gear, because it's such a massive advantage. Like a girl that's got pumped to the gills with testosterone is basically a guy fighting, it's big fucking difference. Grandmaster Yoder needs to tap into the force. I'm just going through these ones till I catch up to where we are at, because I've been doing things. Fab, who do you think will be welterweight champion at the end of 2021? Man, the thing is, no one's cracked the Usman code yet. I think someone like Hamzat, funnily enough, could probably give him a run. But I don't know if Hamzat gets through, or even if they'll make him fight. I don't know if he gets through the strikers that can grapple, like a Masvidal, like a Thompson, like a Leon Edwards. This is going to be interesting. I want to see this fight, and then I'll be able to tell you that more clearly. If Hamzat walks through Edwards, I'll be impressed. I think he might beat Edwards, but Edwards is very, very good. He's got good wins. He's got good experience. I don't know. So I don't know. Having said that, if Edwards has made the right adjustments and beats up Hamzat, then I'd like to see him fight Usman again. Like that's yeah. Let me see what else. Okay, notice that there's been more streams lately since Rob's been off. I never heard what happened there. No worries, though. Still love the podcast. And you, Fab, no homo. Oliver Ekman. Oliver, I fucking dropped Rob. I got drunk one day, and I just fucking had enough of it. To him, like, the shots that he took off Romero was a pussy shit, and I just dropped him there and then. And that was it. He's got off the podcast. No, what happened was, Oliver, we stopped working together. I said this earlier in the podcast. We still talk, you know what I mean? We still message, but we don't work together, you know what I mean? We don't live near each other. We live probably 2 hours away. And like I text him, how you doing? He might text me, or we talk, how was the fight, this and that. But he's doing his thing, I'm doing mine. And it's not like it's like anything else, man. When you work with someone and you don't work with them anymore, guys that you worked with in another place. And there's also been the lockdown, as well. So I haven't seen him for close to a year or something. So I'm not working. I don't work in that field at the moment. So yeah, that's all it is. Randy, I need you to chill with Oliver. Leave him alone. Yes, leave him alone, Randy. Oliver's just asking. Sorry about Randy, Oliver. Randy gets quite protective of me. Won't donate money, but fuck, mate. He'll bang it out with anyone that talks shit about me. No, and that's all it is, man. It's not anything. Yeah. Sakwan Barclays, what's up, brother? Who you got in the main event? RDA, my friend. I believe RDA is going to get it done. I believe that RDA was ready for the fight. I believe that RDA is better at lightweight. I believe that RDA is able to use his size. He's a pressure grappler. He comes forward. He's got good striking. I believe that Paul Felder is all of that and more, but I think that Paul Felder's honestly been thinking about retirement. He's been looked a little bit drawn. He's dropped the weight in the last few things. But all of that could work for him as well. I just think that I'm not going off those things. I'm going off the best Paul Felder and the best RDA. I would favor RDA. That's all. Hey, Fab, what's your favorite martial arts to watch besides MMA? Wrestling, man. I love watching wrestling. I love watching folk style wrestling, actually. I never wrestled folk style. I wrestled freestyle, but I love watching folk style. I don't know enough about it to talk about it, commentate on it, or anything like that. I never grew up doing the wrestling where you defend rides and you escape points and all that. So I don't fully appreciate it like I should. But that's my favorite sport to watch. If I could just watch that, I'd watch that. If I could just pick one, it would be that. I like folk style wrestling the most of all things. Hey Fab, what's your favorite? Hey Fab, you watch much of Jack Slack's content? I haven't as of late. I've just been super busy, but huge fan of Jack Slack. Huge fan. For the most part, he gets stuff right. You know what I mean? Like he's actually the real deal. You know what I mean? Like I really like watching some of his stuff. You know, I used to watch a lot. Like I had more time on my hands, but since my baby's been born and everything, just been, man, fuck, there's no holidays. You know what I mean? It's the best time, but it's also like a lot of work as well. At Grange TV, just joined. Hope for a good card. Man, it should be. This fight is actually going to be fireworks, this one. Alhassan and Chaos, they both hit super hard. Alhassan has a judo background, but I don't think he fully knows it. You know what I mean? Because he just gets in there and bangs, you know? So I see this one going, they're going to bang it out. And yeah, name your kid Chaos. You got to hope he turns out to be a bad dude. Thoughts on Figueiredo versus Perez, Fab? I see Perez good. I see Perez is good at making people fight his fight, you know, which like slows it kind of down, makes it boring fight. I don't think it's a boring fight, but it's the easiest way for me to describe it. And I think Figueiredo looks like he's 3 weight divisions above. And in fairness, he has missed weight before. But he's just a big fucking dude, you know. And when he fought Benavidez, it was scary because like he looked like he was 2 weight divisions above. He looked at least, honestly, like a bantamweight fighting a flyweight, you know. And so I have to go with the Veasan, you know. I'd say Tasman Andrews, the best, the greatest. Thank you so much. People, thank you so much. You don't know how much these things help. You know, a lot of expense goes into this, you know, not even just the equipment and everything, but the time, you know, the time and the equipment, and not today, but paying for the pay-per-view. So I really, really, really appreciate you guys helping out, donating, everything, etc., etc. Do you think a female fighter can beat a man of the same weight but with less fighting experience? Yeah, I mean, the less fighting experience the man has, the easier it's going to be for the girl to beat him up. Because the thing is, man, this is the other thing. Like, if you don't know how to fight and you're not a fighter, like, there are dudes that are naturally aggressive and can fight, like not can fight, but they're like the tough guy in the group. That guy is going to be all right, but not many people are like that guy. If you get a girl that went to the Olympics for judo, or went, not even, just competes all the time in wrestling, and there's just like a normal dude that can't really fight, she'll fucking smash him. She'll smash him. Dude, I went to school with these big island girls, and one time these Asian girls from Cabramatta High School mouthed off to me while I was reffing a basketball game, and these Islander girls beat up these girls so fucking bad. If you're listening, those Islander girls, I'm not going to name you because I know that you're respectable members of society now, but they rescued me from getting beat up by these little Asian girls. They beat up these girls, but like, then they asked me if I was all right. And I'm telling you, these girls, I was fucking scared of these Islander girls, man. And they were like my age and a year below me at school. And they could fucking fight. Like, it wasn't, they weren't like massive. They weren't like huge Islander girls. Like, they were like strong, athletic girls. And they were fucking through them. Like, those girls like that, those girls would have beat up like a normal guy in my year or something like that, for sure. For sure. They're just mean, dude. Like sweethearts, but mean. We're about to kick off, people. Islanders can fight, man. Irrespective, boy, girl, whatever, they can fucking fight. So we're about to kick off. This is going to be fireworks, guys. Do not blink. And there's a fist touch here. Chaos Williams looks composed, hits him with a calf kick. Alhassan looks like he never took a day off from doing chin-ups or weights. He just, yeah. Calf kicks by Williams, very smart. Neither guy's holding the center of the octagon. He keeps landing that calf kick. Oh, massive calf kick landed by Alhassan, mate, he just looks like, oh shit, Chaos landed a huge right hand. Oh my god. I hope he's all right, dude. It was huge. He stiffened him up completely. Oh my god, what a right hand. Wow. And this is at a catch weight for welterweight. I hope for all the middleweights' sake that these guys, both these maniacs, stay at welterweight. Chaos Williams looks like a fucking monster as well. Just did a massive backflip in the octagon. So he just hit him straight down the pipe. Wow. As Hassan threw the right low kick to the calf, Williams stood his ground and just threw a nice straight right hand down the pipe and caught him right on the chin, man. And that was all she wrote. Like, he stiffened Alhassan. He stiffened him up bad. Oh, my God. Was it a right hand? I thought it was a right hand. I'd like to see it from this angle again. He hit him like, completely stiffened him up. Wow. What a shot, man. And what a backflip. And that's, you were asking before, like, about, like, the Israel fight, whatever. Like, you got to understand, like, can anyone beat Israel? You got to understand how hard some of these guys are hitting, So you got to give Israel the credit as well. Like, he's gotten through there without losing. A guy like Rob's only lost one at middleweight. Fuck, mate. And only been stopped twice. One by Israel, once by Wonder Boy. But, dude, these guys hit like that. They can put you out. You know what I mean? If they just catch you on the chin. Wow. What a shot. Chaos looks like he does not laugh at jokes or anything. Just looks like a serious guy. Doesn't like appreciate people having jokes or liking kittens or little baby animals and shit. That does not like him. Doesn't like him. He's got such a scowl on his face. Looks so angry at the world. Man, good on you, Chaos. You fucking, like, he's a monster, dude. Hits so hard. Nunes versus Smolka, who will win? It got called, man. They didn't fight because Smolka, I believe, couldn't make weight. I think it was Smolka. I was looking forward to that fight so much. The Inky Squid, first stream I've tuned into, but I'm really enjoying it. I'll be a regular from now on. Thank you, Inky Squid, man. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you guys doing this. I really appreciate you guys following it. Usually, Inky Squid, I have Eli Hedges here with me. He's a boxing coach, a friend of mine for a long time, but he's a fireman and he got called in at the last moment and he's out there saving kittens and just doing all sorts of shit for people. Maybe you know what? I don't even think he might be. He's a fireman. He's probably a stripper and he just puts his clothes on as a fireman and walks out. $2. Nunes versus current BJ Penn. Who's your pick? This is Cooper Marion. Nunes versus current BJ Penn. Who's your pick? BJ, I would say to you, BJ. He's still BJ. Fab gonna get cancelled talking about testosterone being a real thing that matters, laughing my fucking ass off. It fucking is, you know what I mean? Like, that's why, like, when dudes fucking cheat with it, it's such a big thing, It's not a little thing. And the other thing, testosterone, it aids in protein synthesis. That's what it does. Right? That's the actual thing that it does. Meaning that what it does is it allows your recovery to improve. So you're able to recover faster and better. So it's not just your actual strength and your power. It's like you can do more workouts per week than you could normally. You can do more grappling sessions and not be as sore the next day. So it actually helps you technically. So if you've been roiding off your nut for 5 years and now you're clean, yeah, you might lose strength, but you've had 5 years of being able to train more and more and more and more, and not being as hurt. The volume of training that you've been doing has been greater because your body has been able to do more sessions. So it's a big fucking thing, man. It's a big advantage. Like that thing how people get busted and then like they're allowed to fight 6 months later. Fuck off, man. That's stupid. I don't see Usman losing to anyone in the top 10, says Chicken Nips. Nah, like right now, Usman's looking very, very good. Jordan White says, "What's up, Matt Sarah?" Yeah, I know. He does. Chaos does look ready to go, man. He's a fucking monster. He's scary. How do you feel about fighters cutting down 2 weight classes? Seems like a lot of internal damage in the long run. Like, you mean if you're like, but see, Frankie Edgar, he was, say, from Frankie Edgar for lightweight to bantamweight. In fairness, he was always too small for lightweight. It's a testament to how good he is. To me, Frankie Edgar should have been featherweight, bantamweight, but he was lightweight champion. You know what I mean? So it just depends on the fighter, dude. Like, say, for example, Rob will never see welterweight again, ever. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just not going to happen. He'll go up to light heavyweight if anything, but he won't be a welterweight ever again. Ewan Ferguson, this is only to be used as ice cream money for Little Eat there, but thank you for doing these for the fight cards. Ewan, you're the best. You're the best. And that's pounds too, dude. That's pounds. That's ice cream for the fucking week. You don't understand what you've done for this little girl. You know, you've really kept her in ice cream money for a week. You're a good man, Ewan. You're a good man. Don't you ever forget that. Don't you ever forget what you did. There's a little girl in Australia, in Sydney, eating ice cream because of you. Thank you, sir. Hassan, yeah, man, like that was the power, man, at that level, but these guys don't even look like welterweights. These guys look like they look like middleweights, you know what I mean? Like they look like, yeah, they look like middleweights, man. How hard he hit was crazy. Absolutely crazy. Hassan Ahmed says, Fab, what is your favorite Olympic sport besides wrestling? I'm guessing this is your favorite sport. I like basketball. I like basketball a lot. I grew up playing basketball. I like judo as well. But I suppose you're asking, I'm sure you mean other than not just wrestling, I suppose the combat sports, because I like watching the judo, the taekwondo, and the boxing as well. So other than the combat sports, I love watching basketball. Gymnastics I like as well, but I'll watch gymnastics. But basketball, especially at the Olympics, I'll get into it, especially when you have like every now and then you have like a team from Argentina, I think like 2000 or something like that emerged or 2004, and they were just a great team. And I think they won the gold medal. One of those years, I know they won the gold medal. I don't know if it was 2000 or 2004, but I know they won a gold medal. Like France or Spain, obviously before all my Balkan friends get angry, any of those teams, like from the Balkans, like Serbia, all those former Yugoslavia teams, like I love watching those teams, Croatia, all of that. Like obviously the mecca of basketball is the US, but when those teams put together a really, really good team, they give the US a run, or they've given the US a run, I should say, in the past, that's always made it really, really, really exciting. So I really, really like that. So what else have we got here? Fab, how do you think Stipe versus Ngannou 2 will go? I think it will go similar to the first, Hassan says. I think that it will probably go similar to the first, but again, having said this, Ngannou has like a gun, you know what I mean? He only has to land it. So anytime you fight him, I think you have to be the underdog. You have to be the underdog because he's got such an X factor with that power that he only has to land it once. It's like a cheat code. So you have to circumvent the advantages that he has. And I believe that Stipe has the abilities to do that. I don't know that I can go, yeah, it'll go the same way as the first, because at any time you can land it, at any time. And the physicality of Ngannou is such that if he's been training wrestling, he will pick up on that a lot. Like he seems like a stupidly gifted athlete, you know, as well. So I don't know that like Ngannou and thing will go necessarily the same way. I think it will. I think it should, but man, he's got like a fucking shotgun. He's running around with a shotgun. Joseph says Leon Edwards is such underappreciated fighter. One thing I don't like about the UFC is when it comes to top fighters matchmaking, it's a popularity contest. Yeah, it is. That's like we were saying earlier, though. Like, we criticize it, and there is room for criticism because it is a popularity contest. But at the same time, you wouldn't watch this card. No one would watch this card if it was on another promotion. Do you know what I mean? And so you watch it because the UFC builds a show, it's the Colosseum, it's Rome, you know. So, like, you know, people wouldn't have gone and watched the Circus Maximus if it was called Promotion X and it was run in some other country. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it was at the time, and this is what this is a mecca of combat sports. So you're watching it based on that popularity contest, based on the propaganda and marketing machine that is the UFC. So it's kind of like a if you will, because that's a reality. This card, you wouldn't watch it on another promotion. Hamzat versus Covington would be intense. I think that fight in particular, Hamzat versus Covington, I don't know, because I don't know. I want to see this fight with Edwards first before I can start making a proper what do you call it? A proper guess. Sorry, I'm just looking something up because I don't know if. Yeah, no, okay. Sorry, the Fiziev that you're talking about. Sorry, I should have said what I was doing. I was looking at, but I was thinking, like, how do I know this guy? Because I have seen him fight, but I didn't know him as Fiziev. I couldn't remember the thing because his first name is Rafael, and he's from Kyrgyzstan. He's a lightweight. I haven't seen a lot of him. But I knew. But when you said the name, I was like, Fiziev, why do I know that name? But I remember when I saw his name, I know he goes by the name of Rafael. And yeah, I have seen a little bit, but not enough. I haven't seen enough of him. And I've seen a couple of fights. I think he's lost a couple. I think he's lost one and won 3 or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So yeah, I've seen a little bit of him. Not enough to be able to give a proper thing. His name's Rafael. That's what he goes by. I don't know that's his actual name. I'd like to see you fight Ronda Rousey to prove all those people who say she can beat a man wrong. Ronda would beat me, though, you see, Randy. She would beat me. But I'm saying, would Ronda beat what she fought at, like the equivalent of a bantamweight or a featherweight, a bantamweight? Or say a featherweight, would she have beat when she was up and coming? Would she have beat McGregor at featherweight? No. Do you know what I mean? Joseph, Coach Fab, you should get into golf, cracker of a sport. I don't have the patience or the attention span for golf. My brother-in-law plays golf. He's actually quite good at it, Levi Warby, but I'm no good at it. And plus I've got bad knees and a bad back from grappling and that. And so all that rotation and all that doesn't do anything for me. It's actually I'm not physically capable of playing golf. That's how much of a fucking pussy I am. Randy, have I ever coached any Olympic athletes? I have been involved with athletes that have gone to the Olympics, yes. Ewan Ferguson, who between you and Eli could eat more powdered donuts in one sitting? Me, for sure. Fucking powdered donuts. Fucking that's powdered donuts. I am to powdered donuts what Damian Maya is to jiu-jitsu. So I can tell you that for sure. Jesus, this chaos. Yeah, chaos looks insane. I think they should just cut down costs and not get judges for the Blades versus Lewis fight. I agree with you, Joseph. This fight that just happened, the chaos fight, they shouldn't have had judges for it. Some shouldn't have. Didn't need them. Rafael dos Anjos is walking out. Looks super intense. He's another guy that doesn't look like he likes like baby animals and whiskers on kittens. He just doesn't seem to like him. He's looking in fantastic shape. He is a fucking tank of a man. I've seen this guy in real life. He was in the corner. he was in our dressing room when he fought Colby and Rob fought Romero. In that, he was in our dressing room, and second Romero fight. And I believe it was a second Romero fight. And he's a stout little dude, I'm telling you. Like, he's not very tall. He's not overly tall. That's why I didn't like him at welterweight. Colby's a lot bigger. Colby and Usman are a lot bigger than him. But he's very, very thick. And at lightweight, he's a lot bigger than people. A lot bigger. Hassan, Coach, what is your favorite Rob fight? My favorite one in as far as execution was the Jacare fight because it went perfect according to what we planned. And that was to always be outside of Jacare's lead foot and hit him with a jab 1-2. And he was able to do that, you know, and then be able to push him back and corral him into that right hand, right kick. So we were able to drill that. And it came off fucking perfect. But this is the thing, dude, that people don't get. Jacare could have tapped him in that first exchange and people would have said, oh, what a shit game plan. It's the game plan, but then you got to be able to do that. So as far as execution was that one. As far as like, there's two other favorite fights. The best fight as far as like great fight that I could show people, you know, this is MMA, was Romero and him won because Romero was at his best. Rob was at his best. It just fucking looked great. Or Rob's still on his way to being his best, actually. I think he'll be best ever. I honestly think that. The other great fight that I liked of Rob's was him and Stephen Thompson because I knew that Stephen Thompson was probably too much of an ask for him. I wasn't fully coaching with him at that time, but he just went forward on that fight, you know what I mean? And it showed a lot. Like he didn't go, oh, fuck, it's Stephen Thompson and not. He went forward and he went for it and he hit Thompson with a lot of big shots, you know, a lot of powerful shots. And those three fights, I think. Let me go back up. Fab, what is your go-to summer drink? Not alcohol, as we are keeping it halal, seeing as it is summer over there in Australia. Water, my friend. Water and kombucha. They're the only two things I drink, and tea. I like to drink tea. So they're my three drinks that I have. I don't drink alcohol myself as it is. Chili Miners, here is Big Felder on the pads. War Felder, RDA looks shredded at lightweight. Do you think Felder's triathlon training will help the fight? It will help his case on short notice. Will it translate to wrestle boxing? It won't affect his cardio because he's got, like, I mean, it will help his cardio because he's got all the fighting behind him. You know what I mean? So honestly, it's probably allowed him to keep his body intact and not suffer and wear all the damage of a fight camp. You know what I mean? And so that's what I think. That's why I think it probably actually, in Felder's case, for one fight, it will help him. He can't do that, you know, not train fighting and only train triathlon long term. But for one fight, I definitely think it'll help him. This room, my head's starting to get really shiny, I can see, and I'm drinking a lot of water. This room that I'm in is so hot. The last main event that we did, the cameras stopped working because this room was so hot. So the cameras start to malfunction the hotter it is. But this isn't as hot as it was last time. Fab, I would outdo you in a donut eating contest. I had 48 Krispy Kremes on my birthday. On my birthday that just went. Mate, 48 Krispy Kreme donuts. No, you would. You win, mate. You win. I wouldn't be able to do it. Cory, are you still working with Rob Fab? No, I am not. It's been answered. I'm not. Obviously, you're not going to know everything that happened in my life, but it's been answered like a lot by Rob, by me. You know, probably haven't worked together for close to a year now. So yeah. Marcello K, is the Felder fight on as we speak? It's about to be on. It's about to be on within, I'd say, 3 minutes. You're going to hear the bell and then we're off. You got to set up a FAQ of where Eli is and where is Fab. I get that. I get it. You got to set up Jack, you're going to have to write the whole thing again because I can't follow both posts. RDA just walked in. Felder coming out to David Bowie. Fight milk. Felder wins by decision. They are still all mates, but they just stopped working with each other. No need. Cardio, sorry, I'm from the future. He sold the gym months ago to Rob and moved on at Cory. All right, guys, we're about to start the fight. Tell me who you think is going to win and why. Felder looks pumped. He does look a little drawn. That's a big beefcake of a security guard standing next to him. RDA looks good, man. He looks really, really good. I like this southpaw to conventional matchup. RDA looks in super good shape, man. Super good shape. He's a stout little guy. He's going to be coming forward, throwing those punches, good looking for the grapple. Fab, Costa versus Till. How do you think it would go? I think Till. I think Till's a little bit slicker. He'll find a home for that straight left hand. That's what I think we'll do. I think Polo is good if he can back you up on the cage and just tear off. But you saw him. He didn't have, even with Uriah Hall had a lot of success with the jab, and I think Till moves quite well. Till's got a nice little lateral hop that he does. So if you're standing conventional and he's kind of tall like this, and then he does this little hop to the side to his right. And as he does that, he does it once, and then he checks your movement. He does it again. And as he does it again, he just throws that left hand out, and you kind of catch it because he's shifted across your space. But he does it quite well. Like he moves back like this, steps across, and lets the left hand go. And then he just catches people on the chin. I felt it by decision. I think Dos Anjos. I think Dos Anjos, Hassan. And yeah, I think Till would catch Polo. And right, hello. Okay. Jerome Lewis says 100 push-ups on Brooke Dillon. I can't do 100 push-ups, Jerome. I can't do 100 push-ups. But let's have a gentleman's agreement that I think I don't think Brooke can't win. I don't think that Brooke can't win. I just think that Terence Crawford will win. Not enough even for me to have a gentleman's bet, to be honest with you. Okay, so they're about to start. Oh, hey, Randy. Look at this. Look at Randy go. Randy, you should lie down with a damn cloth on your head. We're off. We're off. Randy, thank you so much. Felder is controlling the center of the octagon in his traditional kind of Muay Thai stance, looking for that lead leg, trying to kick Dos Anjos' lead leg. But the smaller octagon is only going to favor Dos Anjos, I believe. Dos Anjos standing in southpaw. Again, inside kick by Felder, but checked by Dos Anjos. Dos Anjos is looking nice and covered up, throws a left hand, but a left hand answered by Felder with a nice tight left hook. Left kick to the body, right hand answered by Felder with a 1-2. Left hand found a home by Dos Anjos. No takedown attempt yet. Oh, nice. As I said it, Dos Anjos dipped down for a right to the lead leg. Hits Felder with a left hand over the top again. Dos Anjos is looking very tight, very nice. He threw a left kick to the body then that landed on Felder's elbow. And then he threw a left high kick to the head, and then left hand to the head. And now Felder's coming forward. He's pushing forward. Nice kick to the body by Felder. Straight front kick to the body. Oh, spinning elbow by Felder. Dos Anjos is already, I think he's wearing a cut already over the top of his head. Yep. Right hand by Felder down the middle. But Dos Anjos is slowly pushing him into the cage, and now he's hit the double leg. He's nice and deep on this double leg. I think his hands might even be linked. He's got to get his hips under. He's got it. His hands are linked. He's going to drop in, get his hips under, and now Felder's on his back. Dos Anjos is very, very, very good in jiu-jitsu, and particularly good on top. Very nice pressure here by Dos Anjos. Dos Anjos, a man that makes not many mistakes on top, so Felder's going to be in a bit of trouble here. So Dos Anjos has full shoulder pressure on Felder's neck, and he's holding him down. He's got very good guard passes too. He's going to hold him down. Felder's not going to get up unless Dos Anjos makes a very big mistake, I don't think. And so Felder's trying to get those legs free, but Dos Anjos is switching the angle. So Dos Anjos is going to come back. His bum's going to come towards the cage, and he's going to pull Felder away from the cage. He's looking for that wrist control as well. He's keeping Felder down on his elbow. Felder needs to get off that elbow. He needs to get off that elbow and get his hips up off the floor. And he's up. Good on Felder. He's up, but Dos Anjos has like a standing head arm on him as well. I think he's going to be able to get him back down. Felder's controlling this a lot. Like he's trying to get his back. He needs to get his back to the cage, but Dos Anjos doing a great job here as well of holding onto the cage. Just 2 minutes and 10 seconds left. Landing the knees to the body. Nice defense by Felder. Oh, big uppercut by Felder. Big uppercut straight down the middle. Landed on Dos Anjos. Dos Anjos got a great chin. Again, though, I think this smaller cage helps Dos Anjos a lot. Nice left hook to right hand combination by Felder. Dos Anjos again, another left kick to the arms. Left hand landed straight down the middle for Dos Anjos. Front kick down the middle by Felder. And Dos Anjos is holding the center of the cage. Right hand landed by Felder. I think Felder's starting to get a reach on that right hand. He's starting to get a good read. Throws a knee coming in. Does Felder to stop the takedowns from Dos Anjos. Very smart by Felder. Very, very, very smart. There's still plenty of time for Felder to get this round back. Pouring jab there by Dos Anjos. Left hand landed by Dos Anjos again. Swings with a big left hook did Felder. He's always looking for that knee. Another spinning elbow by Felder. Exchange there. Felder got caught, I think, a little bit, but then he caught Dos Anjos back with a hook on the way out. He's throwing that uppercut. Felder's very, very smart. Very, very smart. I think the time as an analyst has helped him as well. Head clash there by both guys that both went for takedowns. And Felder has a deep underhook on Dos Anjos. Good head position. I think that the time as an analyst has helped Felder as well. Just because he's very, very good. He's throwing that knee out. He's doing all those things right now. Dos Anjos has him almost in a cradle position up against the cage. And Felder's looking to try and get up, but Dos Anjos was sitting on his leg now. Felder's managed to get up. There's 19 seconds to go. Big elbow landed with a forearm by Dos Anjos against the cage. Very tight first round, but I'd give it to Dos Anjos. And this fight this benefits Dos Anjos. This grueling up against the cage, landed an elbow on the exchanges. 3 seconds to go. Definitely, my opinion, Dos Anjos' round, but I have been wrong. Yeah, it's pretty full on, man. That first round, I liked it. I like the pressure, but I also like Felder's throwing those knees down the middle, throwing the spinning elbows. One of the things is that he's throwing the left hook. He's throwing it tight and he's throwing it long. And I think he's starting to throw that left hook and that right hand to where he thinks RDA is going to be. Because RDA is pulling back, and I think that Felder's going to find a home for that right hand and or that left hand at some point. Doesn't mean he's going to stop the fight. Doesn't mean he's going to knock him out. But RDA is doing a lot of good pressuring there and hitting off the break as well. I have RDA winning the round. I have RDA winning the fight as well. Yeah, that headbutt was crazy. That was a big headbutt, man, by both of them. They both were shot in at the same time. Second round started. Dos Anjos holding the center of the cage. Right body kick by Felder, followed by a right hand. Jab by Dos Anjos. Dos Anjos trying to get outside of that lead foot of Felder's. Felder throws a kick down the middle. Dos Anjos is in the southpaw stance, throws a left rib to the body, answered with a left hook by Felder. Now both guys clash and exchange shots in the middle, but Dos Anjos pushes Felder up against the cage. He has a nice deep underhook, but he doesn't have the optimal head control. Felder has actually got the better head control against the cage here, or head defense, I should say. Dos Anjos has dropped for a double leg, defended very well by Felder. Felder's off the cage. Right elbow landed by Dos Anjos on the break, followed by a left hand, followed by a right elbow from Felder. Right jab by Dos Anjos, followed by a right low kick by Felder. Dos Anjos is moving him back. Oh, nice lead elbow with the right hand by Felder. Both fighters exchanged punches there. inside left kick by Dos Anjos, respectively, followed with one by Felder. Very active first round. Nice double leg entry there by Dos Anjos. I think he got in a little bit too quick for Felder, but Felder's getting that underhook in. He's got a nice whizzer. He's got an underhook, and he was able to fight it off. But again, the apex octagon is helping Dos Anjos because it's a smaller octagon, and Dos Anjos shoots a double and is able to push him up against the cage. Very, very smart work by Dos Anjos. Dos Anjos is leaning on him, grinding on him, wearing on him. I believe that Dos Anjos is doing a fantastic job. Felder's doing a great job at defending, but Dos Anjos has him pressed up against the cage. Don't forget that Dos Anjos was also training. Oh, massive elbow landed by Dos Anjos on the break. Huge elbow. Left lead by Dos Anjos. I believe that there was an eye poke one way or the other, but both gentlemen agreed to carry on fighting. Right hand return there by Felder. Nice left kick to the body, taken on the arms, then right hand landed by Dos Anjos. Dos Anjos starting to land, starting to get a bit more of a rhythm. Right hand thrown by Felder. He's looking for that home for the right hand, but Dos Anjos is just starting to get the timing and the distance better. Landed a jab there. He's moving him back. Nice combination thrown by Dos Anjos. Oh, massive elbow. Nice pair of elbows landed by Felder. I don't know what Dos Anjos' head is made of. Right hand is landing now from Felder. Big kick landed there by Dos Anjos. It wasn't flush, but it was enough left rip to the body of Felder. Dos Anjos throwing good punches now. That left rip did hit and hurt Felder. Nice double leg entry now by Dos Anjos. He's leaning on Felder. This is enough. This fight is Dos Anjos' fight. This is how he fights, and this can win him the round. Felder's looking. He's got a body lock on Felder now. He's got double underhooks, and he's got a leg trip on Felder now. He's taking him down. He's going to lace this leg up, and he's going to put his weight down onto that knee, just above the knee, so Felder can't get the leg out, and it also pushes the hips down on the ground. What Felder needs to do is post on his hand, not his elbow, and get his hips up off the ground. Not that Felder doesn't know this. Felder knows this, but it's hard to do with an animal like Dos Anjos on top of you. Dos Anjos is now, he's looking to transition to the back, I believe. He's still controlling that leg so that Felder can't get it. Felder's up. And Dos Anjos is looking for that back. He's not going to get it. He may get this trip again. If he gets his trip again, I think that's more or less saying that Felder's starting to get worn on and is not really defending it anymore. Dos Anjos is now kicking at the legs. Felder's got his stomach to the cage. This is actually good to defend a takedown because your center of gravity is wider, so you can defend the takedown more effectively, but you can't mount any offense from there. Uriah Hall is very good at defending like this. And one of the things that leaves you open to is knees to the legs, knees to the thighs, knees to the calves, and stomps to the feet. But Dos Anjos is happy to be just holding on to here. Felder's getting attacking a Kimura, but he's not going to get a Kimura on RDA. It's just not going to happen. And there are the knees that I was talking about. So he is landing the knees. He's switched to a double leg. And he's broken off. There's 12 seconds to go. And RDA is keeping him. This is the difference when you see a fighter like RDA. He throws the combinations, but he doesn't back away. Like he kind of skipped back there, but he makes Felder work the whole time. End of the second. I definitely have that as RDA's round. It's like he'll make you work out of there. You know what I mean? He doesn't give up the real estate that he worked so hard to get. So that was a very, very interesting round. I definitely see that for RDA. You guys tell me what you think. Easier to defend takedowns than it is to execute them. That's the thing that takes the most energy. I think so. Felder has better takedown defense than I expected. He's doing very well with his takedown defense. So much energy being used defending the takedowns though. A lot of energy is used. I'll tell you when the energy is used is when the momentum of the takedown is stopped. When you've landed, if you don't get up straight away and the guy's now holding you down, he's able to rest and you have to work. That's what makes it really, really hard. Somebody dropped their phone. One of the cornermen or someone dropped their phone in the octagon. I'm surprised Felder didn't just keep it. Now they're off again, once again. The third round of a possible 5. Right high kick by Felder, taken on the arms of Dos Anjos. Don't forget, that can easily break your arms. Left inside kick by Dos Anjos, answered with a right inside kick of Felder's own. Left kick to the lead leg by Felder. Right knee followed to a right elbow by Felder. Left body kick by Dos Anjos. Exchange by both men. No one lands cleanly. But again, Dos Anjos able to push him up against the cage. And he's in deep on a single leg. He's looking for the double. I believe he hasn't got his hands clasped yet, but he's got Felder pushed against it. This is the thing. One thing is defending the takedown. The other thing is defending yourself from getting pushed up against the cage and held there the way that he's being held by Dos Anjos, which is nice little elbow on the break by Felder. Nice front kick by Felder. That's a very, very important kick to use against a pressure grappler, is that lead kick that he's throwing. Now, he's put Dos Anjos back against the cage. He's got double unders on Dos Anjos, and this helps if you're a taller guy, if you can manage to get both. But this, when you're up against a cage, is very similar to actual jiu-jitsu when you're on the ground. And as you saw, Dos Anjos was able to use his leg to frame the same way that you would in a half guard. So it's actually very, very similar to being on the ground and grappling. I think that Felder's he's using a lot of strength to hold RDA. RDA is using a lot of strength to escape, but this is only going to benefit RDA. Nice double leg. RDA wants this. He wants the grueling grappling. Exactly what I said. He's got the double legs. Now, Felder has to, see he's posting on that elbow. He has to post on his hand, because you can post on your elbow, but you don't have the leverage to get your hips up high enough. And so RDA is a master grappler, an absolute weapon grappler. So he can stay here all day. So it's up to Felder now to move and to give where he's going to give RDA to go. RDA is slowly collapsing Felder now, and he's managed to. Now he's got him down. He's got him flat. This is going to get very, very hard for Felder. RDA is going to pass this guard. If he gets a position like a head arm choke or something like this, he's going to be able to pass the guard quite easily. He's already well on the way to passing the guard. He's doing a fantastic job, is RDA. And Felder now is giving him his back, and he's managed to get up. You would have used a lot of strength getting up. Dos Anjos still has a body lock. See those exchanges where you shoot a double leg, you get the guy down, you're able to hold him down even for a bit, allows you to rest a little bit while the other guy has to work. So that's when it works well for you. There's 2 minutes to go. The way that RDA fights, you got to be ridiculously fit, super strong and super fit. He's holding Felder up against the cage. He's got a nice deep underhook with his left hand. Felder and him are fighting for wrist control. And RDA is talking to the ref. I don't know what he's saying. I don't think it'd be something funny, because RDA doesn't look like a funny man. He looks like a very serious individual. Nice little elbow thrown by Felder in the exchange, but all this is Dos Anjos points for Dos Anjos. Dos Anjos is landing elbows, landed a big elbow on the breaker, left hand, right hand landed by Dos Anjos. Felder's not up against the cage yet. He's fainting. He's still very game, is Felder, but it looks like it's taken its toll. He's not moving as much, and he's succumbed to being up against the fence. Shots are being landed by Dos Anjos. Now he's shot in again for a double leg and a single leg. This is Dos Anjos' game. There's not a lot of guys better than this in the lightweight division, save for Khabib, maybe Islam. I don't know, in the welterweight division up at the top there, I don't know who's better than this right now than Dos Anjos, this kind of game. Again, like I said, maybe a Chandler, maybe a Eddie Alvarez, but Eddie Alvarez not with the UFC anymore. Picked up and dumped. So Felder is now on his back. Dos Anjos, I believe, is now starting to break him in these exchanges. So he's got shoulder pressure down on Paul Felder. Paul Felder's an absolute weapon of a man. I'm telling you right now, he's a fucking monster. But Dos Anjos is now starting to get on top. So he's in Felder's half guard, and slowly Felder's going to be able to use less and less strength. He's getting him, had him in like a makeshift cradle. Now he's passing the half guard. He's looking for a Kimura. So Felder's got to be very, very careful. Dos Anjos will be extremely heavy on top, especially now that Felder's strength is starting to go. The third round, and I've got Dos Anjos winning this now by quite a bit. The left kick to the body, RDA, yeah, it's very nasty. The thing is landing kind of on the elbows as well, not so much on the forearm, so you can hurt your own foot. Yeah, look, more than push kicks, Chili Miners, it's a front snap kick because it's not as telegraphed as much. So it'd be better if you used more like less of a teep, less of a push kick, and more of a front snap kick. I got that all for RDA, to be honest. I like watching it, man. I like watching Dos Anjos do his thing. I like watching that grappling. I like watching the grapplers that can push you up against a cage, take you down, get top control, hold you down. I like that. I really like the grappling. Where do I think Michael Chandler fits in the lightweight division? Hold on a second. We'll hold that thought. And I agree with you, Ahmed. Huge respect to Felder for even making it to the championship rounds. 100%. Just called in on late notice, cut weight, etc., etc. And he's out there and tried a big flying knee on Dos Anjos, but Dos Anjos doesn't run into the doubles and that. Oh, big right hand by Felder. Big right hand. Left hook over the top. Right kick to the body. And I think, landed that nice combination on RDA. Nice. Right low kick by Felder, followed by right hand by Felder. Nice. RDA shows a double leg. I think he's cut. Yeah, he's cut over his right eye. Felder's looking good at the start of this fourth round. He's looking very, very nice in this fourth round. Throws that right hand. Dos Anjos still has the distance in. Nice uppercut landed there by Felder. Nice. He's looking for that wrist control so he can elbow over the top. But Dos Anjos moves out of the way. Another nasty body kick by Dos Anjos from the southpaw position. Right kick to the head by Felder. This wrist control game is what Felder's looking for to land those elbows over the top. Leon Edwards had a lot of success on RDA with that. But Leon Edwards finds that home for that elbow very, very well. Better than most. Better than anyone in the welterweight division for sure. That tie clinch, they played a little bit of a tie clinch game that neither one of them wanted to go on with it. Jab landed by RDA on the break, exchanged by both men, but nothing landed clean. Nice deep double leg by RDA, pushes Felder up against the cage. Felder's trying to defend. I think he's going to defend this initial takedown, I believe. But as the rounds wear off, he's not going to. Yeah, so he defended this initial one. I don't think he'll defend the next one. I think there's a cut on Felder's shin as well. So RDA's got the better head control here. He's got a nice deep underhook with his left hand. Felder is now pushed up against the cage. Nice work here by RDA. Nice. He's the whole time now he's got, and this is wearing on Felder a lot. A lot. Now this second takedown that RDA is going for, I believe he's going to get this one. I believe he's already in deep. I think he's going to turn now to his left. He's going to circle to the left. He stepped in. No, he didn't get it. Good defense here by Felder. Very, very good defense. But he's getting held up. There's 2 minutes, 17 seconds left in the fourth round. He's getting held by RDA. RDA's got the better head control. Now he spins RDA back. He's got RDA's back against the wall. RDA's got the left, deep left underhook there. So he's going to get out from this. He's going to get out. He's going to circle because if he's got that he's got the deep left underhook. Yeah, there he is. He circled away. Against the cage, high underhooks, they rule the show. So he's got nice, throws a big elbow. Felder's doing a lot of work here to defend the takedowns, but it's also not letting him mount any offense while RDA throws knees to the body. More knees. It's interesting, very interesting. So RDA's got him held up against the cage. Felder's starting to look like it's wearing on him. Nice knees in the clinch by Felder. He's got RDA up against the cage. There's 1 minute, 18 seconds left. They're throwing knees and trading knees and punches to the body of each fighter. RDA's got a nice clinch in there. And Felder's pushed away. But he eats a jab for his troubles. Yes, nice inside leg kick, but answer with a left hook by Felder. 3-punch combination by Felder pushes RDA back. RDA is looking to circle away and trying to create an angle for himself. Felder misses with a kick, and RDA tries to fight back for the center of the octagon, misses with a knee. Felder's still got power in those punches, still throwing hard, but they look a little bit more laborious. Now Felder's wearing a cut, throws a spinning elbow. 38 seconds to go. Left body kick by RDA. Felder hits with a nice takedown. Big double leg in the center of the octagon, but nothing doing here. I see RDA getting up really, really quickly. He's scrambled all the way back to the fence. He's got his back to the cage now. He's got his hips to the cage. He's pushing Felder's head down, and he's slapping the back. Big slaps on the back. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but it would hurt. Now he's defended, and Felder's going to eat 10 seconds of big solid punches there. He's got 5 seconds to go. He ate some big shots. This is RDA's round, in my opinion. Again, big uppercut, wing and a miss, but Felder's face is a bloody mess. Where does Michael Chandler fit in? No, I think Chandler, like I said to you, I think Chandler's right up there. You know what I mean? Like, it just depends what happens in the fights, but I think he's right up there, man. He's right up there. He's I don't know where or who, you know what I mean? Like, that's a big ask. Like, that's why there's fights, but he's right up there. I think he's a great fight for anyone. I'm looking forward to watching him fight. RDA is a beast at lightweight. That's what I said. Like, I don't like him at welterweight because he can't use the same physicality in the same way. Yes, Darcy Nix. That's exactly right. That front kick, Rob used it against Romero in the first fight to stop Romero coming forward, and Connor used it against Mendes. He used this front snap kick a lot to stop them coming forward. That front kick to the body, it's very, very important when you face a grappler. And Rob used it against Jacare as well. We're off. Oh, combination landed straight off the bat by Felder. They're trading kicks. Trading kicks to the body. Left hand landed by RDA. Nice head kick by Felder. Nice. And now RDA hits it, but Felder was able to shuck off the takedown attempt. Pause at it with a jab. They exchange jabs in the center. And RDA is moving him back. RDA is throwing punches. They're both throwing punches in the center of the octagon now. Big knee by Felder. Double leg by RDA. So they're both looking really good. Knees in the clinch now by RDA. Foot stomps by RDA. That's why I would like to see him use some more foot stomps, to be honest, when he holds him up against the cage. So, nice elbow on the clinch there. Left hand landed by RDA. Again, another double leg. As soon as he loaded up on that right hand, RDA shot that double leg. Now he's caught the single leg, ran the pipe, and taken him down. RDA is fishing for a triangle of sorts. He's not going to get on RDA. Throws an elbow from the bottom. Now RDA is looking to pass. He's got heavy, heavy pressure on top here, and there's no cage to help Felder get up. There's 3 minutes and 30 seconds left. RDA is looking to maybe change his hip over to create more weight. He's looking for shoulder control. Felder did defend it, but now there it is. He changes his hips, and now he's created a lot of pressure on Felder. He's got that half guard that he's using as a Turk ride again to pin him. And there's 3 minutes to go. Felder's working hard to try and get that half guard loose, but it's not happening. RDA's got it there, and he's holding him down. RDA is doing a fantastic job now. He's got the shoulder pressure on the neck. There's 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go. It's not working here for Felder. RDA is just so heavy on top. He just looks so good on top. Very, very good performance by RDA. Massive applause to Felder for stepping in at short notice. And what does this do for the lightweight division? Because Felder, RDA goes to 7 or 8 or 6 or 9 or somewhere there. Top 10 for sure. Dos Anjos is holding him down. Not really landing a lot of ground and pound here. Just doing a fantastic job of just holding him down. Because also if he starts trying to land a lot of ground and pound, Felder's too experienced and too good. He's going to create space and Felder's going to get up, which is what Felder's trying so hard to do. There's no quit in Felder. Felder's just keeps going. He's past his guard. He's gone to a north-south position, has RDA. Felder's on his back. RDA has really serious jiu-jitsu as well. Really, really, really serious jiu-jitsu. And he's on top and he's controlling that. So there's 1 minute 33 seconds. RDA's got a front headlock on Felder. He's landing knees to the body now. They're not massive, but Felder can't stand and take it. So he's got the front headlock. See, he's landing the knees to the legs. Good knees to the legs too. Nice. He let go of the front headlock. He's taken the back once again. This has been the story of the fight. Landing knees to the thighs. He's got a body lock. 1 minute and 5 seconds to go. Felder's kind of wall walking, trying to get away, but Dos Anjos is just staying on him, takes him, went for a takedown. Felder maintained his balance. RDA is deep on a kind of double leg, single leg kind of attempt here. Felder has switched his legs, and Dos Anjos can do this all day until Felder has to really fight to get out of this. There's 39 seconds to go. He, in my opinion, needs a stoppage to win, but I don't know. I've seen different calls. Felder, Dos Anjos has a deep underhook. That's the story of the fight, though. Like, if you're up against a cage as well, deep underhooks rule the show. If you haven't got a deep underhook, the other guy's going to circle off. And RDA now has got the double under. He's got double legs. Paul Felder went for like a sort of double overs defense. Didn't work out for him. He's on his back. There's not on his back, but he's on the ground. Now he's looking like he's going to go on his back. There's 5 seconds to go. RDA is going to win this one for sure. He's landing a little bit of ground and pound. And that's it. That's a fight. RDA has won it clearly. Great work. Great work by RDA. And massive show of respect. Massive round of applause to Paul Felder for taking this fight, allowing us to do a podcast. What a champion. What a champion. Valeria, I'm so happy the referees haven't pulled anyone apart or stood them up. Me too. I have to say, me too. I'm really happy. I like to see the fights. I like to see the fight. You know what I mean? I like to see where it's going to go. Yeah, Paul Martin. Yeah, look, a lot of the times for veteran fighters like this, if they maintain their fitness, they can get away with that 1 or 2 fights. You know what I mean? So that was really good. What is the most essential tool for being the best fighter? Wrestling, footwork, technique. I don't know, because there's footwork and technique in wrestling, if you know what I mean. If you were to ask me honestly, I think any sport that allows you to do heaps of controlled competition like wrestling or jiu-jitsu, judo, amateur boxing, and any of that stuff I think is great. I think you should really focus on getting a really good base in something and getting that technique right. And then you can translate all those learning things to the rest of it. You know what I mean? And that will make you be a good fighter. So if you can grow up wrestling, grow up boxing, and try and take whatever you can to the highest level, I think that gives you a really, really solid base. RDA has fought elite wrestlers, Colby, Usman, and Khabib. Yeah, and it comes undone there because they're better wrestlers than him. RDA wins by decision. I think he gets first or second in most UFC wins by decision. Yeah, he's very, very good, man. That's his style, that pressure grappler, come forward, hurt you, grapple you. Yeah. And don't forget, at welterweight, he choked out Neil Magny, dude. Like, no fucking joke. Has better cardio than I thought. Felder's got great cardio. Randy showing some more love. Thank you, Randy. That's Randy showing some more love. You're a champion. Appreciate it. Don't honestly, Randy. We all know you got financial problems, so don't put yourself out. No, but really, Randy, I appreciate your help. You don't understand how much it helps and how much it helps to keep the show going. So thank you. Nah, man, he has very good cardio, very, very, very good cardio. Always have been training for a triathlon now. It's not like he was sitting at home pulling cones. Anyone watching the boxing after this? I'll probably watch it, but I don't know that I'll be able to do this. Is Hooker booked? RDA versus Hooker. I think that makes sense. You know what I mean? But again, I don't know if Hooker. I'd rather see Hooker fight up. You know what I mean? No disrespect to RDA, but yeah. Good fight. Felder is class. Great fight. Fight of the year, in my opinion. That was a good fight. I don't know if it was fight of the year, but it was a good fight. Where does Islam go if RDA grapples him? Oh, fuck, I don't know. Because RDA can stand, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know, because Islam is a great grappler. He's a really, really solid grappler. So I don't know if RDA grapples him. Do you think RDA does a Glover Teixeira and cleans out the division? That would be glorious. I don't know. But I'll tell you this. The older you are in the heavier weights, it's better. Like you can be older in the heavyweights. In the lighter guys, they age quicker. They just move a little quicker, etc. RDA won't out-grapple Islam. I tend to think Islam has a better grappling. Do you buy Costa saying he should have pulled out of the easy fight legitimate or an effort to save face, shoulder, or pectoral injury is the rumor? I mean, if he says it, I'm not going to call Costa a liar, but I think that if you took the fight, you took the fight. You know what I mean? Like, you can't, because at the end of the day, nobody cares. Like, if you fight someone and that person's injured, you don't give a shit. You're going to knock him out and go have a burger. You don't care. So once you took the fight, you took the fight. You shouldn't have taken the fight. That's my opinion. I don't know. You're a champion, mate. Thank you so much. Thank you. RFit99. I really, really appreciate it. It helps. Every little bit helps, man. It really does help. It really, really does help. So thank you so much. Pete S., great work, Fab. Cheers. Sorry, I just scooped there. Says, I don't think you can out-grapple Islam, but that's what I want to find out. Yeah, man, me too. Like that I was so pumped for that fight, Islam versus RDA. I think RDA would probably not beat Islam, but fuck knows, you know what I mean? I would have loved to have seen it. Yeah, I am too, Valeria. I'm disappointed it didn't happen. Was it a split decision? Are you serious? Who gave that to no disrespect to Felder, but who gave that to Felder? Was it really a split decision? I was facing this way because I was like, nah, RDA won that. I thought it was unanimous. Valeria, I hope so, especially after this performance of RDA. Party isn't over. Let's see Crawford get this KO. Well, you be careful, mate. All these English guys from Birmingham are going to get to you. If you cannot, don't touch Kell Brook. That man's a national treasure. Brilliant scorecard as always. So honestly, can somebody answer, was it a split decision? I also do not believe he'll out-grapple Islam, Ewan Ferguson, but he's out-wrestled many savages. Yeah, he has, but I think that those boys, in particular, Islam and Khabib are different animals. I do think that. As far as the grappling is concerned, I don't necessarily think Islam is the next Khabib. I think Islam is Islam, and he may well win the title, but Khabib is Khabib. I love all of them taking a photo at the end. Great sportsmanship. I do like that, Valeria. I don't like fuckwits. Hey, I just don't like it. Jason Correa missed the scorecards. What was it? Hey, Fab, which style do you think ages better, striking or grappling? In my opinion, striking tends to age better as grapplers spend more energy to control opponents. Yes, But it depends what kind of striker you are, elderly infant. But it depends what kind of striker you are and depends what kind of grappler you are. Like a Randy Couture type of grappler, a grappler that's a grinding, holds you up against a cage, that kind of guy, like a Greco kind of guy, that ages well in the higher divisions because it's different. It's very technical. Strength is the last of your physical components to go. So, and if you're very good at it, it's hard, man. It's hard to get away from that. If you ever wrestle Greco-Roman with like an old guy that wrestled Greco and he's like a big, strong fucking bear, you can imagine what wrestling a 40-year-old Randy Couture who's juiced to the gills would have been like. That's one thing. The striking, yes, it can age better, but you see if you're a striker that is like in and out of the pocket, head movement, relies on reflexes like an Anderson Silva, you'll see them be unbeatable and then fall off a cliff. You know what I mean? Like they stop getting out of the way of the punches right on point. Like there's guys that are reflex-based. I'm talking about strikers, reflex-based, movement-based, physicality-based in their striking. It's hard for them to keep going with that because when your reflexes start to slow down, you slow down by an inch and you're getting hit of stuff that you would have got out of the way in. So that's that with the striking. With the grappling, if you're an explosive double leg guy that goes chain submissions together and that's going to age quickly as well versus the methodical guys, they last longer as far as that's concerned. But the methodical guys may not have the best runs because those monsters that explode on physicality when they're young do really, really well too. So was it a split decision? Fuck me dead. With all due respect to Felder, I didn't see it as that close. Counter strikers have much more longevity, but that's if they don't get hit much. They do it until they don't. You know what I mean? Until you're not getting out of the way, and at the same time, and that when your reflexes slow down just a tad. That judge that gave it to Felder is 100% a boxing judge, laughing my ass off, Chili Miners. With all respect and love to Felder, I don't see it. Whatever Glover's style is ages the best, laugh out loud. Well, that's the thing with Glover, you know what I mean? He's like a tidy, methodical guy. He's not he's got his hands up nice and high, and he walks in, throws his punches, and shoots with a double leg, gets on top, and grinds you down on top. So it's that methodical kind of style. It's not like shooting from across the other side of the ring, throwing spinning back kicks and all of that stuff. It's a different style. Okay, thanks for the response, elderly infant. Valeria, Felder checking his mustache before the interview is hilarious and inspirational. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Man, I'm not shitting on his performance. I thought his performance was fantastic. But I don't see how like he won that fight. Like he obviously didn't, but how a judge gave that fight to him and said he won that fight, I really don't see that, you know what I mean? But he did really well. So what happens? Well, who fights who now? You know what I mean? I like to see Dan Hooker and RDA. I think that'd be a cool fight. But I don't know what it does for Dan Hooker, because Dan Hooker's worked hard to get himself to that point. Yeah. Sorry, Chili Miners, when you say he's kicking off on the mic, what does that mean? Does that mean he's retiring or does that mean he's freestyle rapping? What does that mean, Chili Miners? Tell me. He did really well, man. He did so fucking well. I'm so proud of him, mate. Like, who am I to be fucking proud of him? He doesn't give a fuck what I think. But I think he did really, really well. Good on him. I thought that RDA won that clearly. In your opinion, who has had the best walkout ever in MMA? I think Pride is awesome walkout, super entertaining. Man, Genki Sudo. Genki Sudo has been fucking insane. I love it. They were crazy, man. Look them up. Chaos Williams versus Colby Covington. Who do you think wins, Fab? I haven't seen enough of Chaos Williams to say, because love him or hate him, Colby is very good. You know what I mean? He's very good at what he does. And so I don't know that Chaos Williams can stop the grappling. But one of the chaoses has to go. There's kind of two chaoses in the same division. I like Gaethje's walkouts. The reggae music is great. Glad to hear Felder's sticking around. Okay. So that's what it was. What did he say in the interview? Because I couldn't hear it. I couldn't hear the thing. When does the fucking the boxing start? When does the main event start? If it starts, if anyone can tell me if it starts right now, the Crawford one, I can probably do it. But if it's ways away, I won't be able to do it. Does anyone know? You're going to bring back Grange TV memes? I never ran the Grange TV memes, Mr. Sid. I never do that. I don't know who does that. So, Chase Dover, by the way, where is your mate who usually commentates with you? He's a fireman. So he got called in on the way here, and so he couldn't come in. So, he just got called in. I don't know if he's an actual fireman or if he's a stripper or what his go is, but yeah, he couldn't come in. Hassan Ahmed, it's 3 a.m. right now in England. Okay, so in an hour or so, Chile Miners. I don't think so. I don't think I'll be able to do it. I don't, because that's not going to, I know with boxing, they just take forever to do the main event, and so I won't be able to. But you know what we'll do next time? I think that we will try, if you guys can, in the comments, let us know, like let me know that you guys would be interested in that, because Eli and I were talking about doing that, like doing the fight companions for boxing or for kickboxing for Glory. If you guys are interested in it and we're going to have an audience, then awesome, I'll do it. Otherwise, I don't want to be sitting here like a madman talking to myself, because it's already weird to be talking to myself. So yeah. Now, guys, thank you so much for joining us, for joining me, and thank you so much for the support, man. It means a lot. We've got such a great community here doing this. So I genuinely thank you all, and I really, 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 really appreciate the support. So, guys, thank you so much. Look after yourselves. Please, guys, like and share, subscribe. Tell everyone that you know. Like, share, subscribe. They're the two S's and the L for this. I really, really appreciate everything, guys. So, man, I want to do it. I had Cedric on my podcast, Cooper Marion. I had Cedric on the podcast, and I had Benny Adekbui on the podcast too. And they're both in the main event. So I'm really genuinely thinking of doing the Glory card. So yeah, man, if you guys are interested and you guys are going to be here, then I'm going to be here, you know, so let me know in the comments and all of that, and let me know what you think. So I really, really appreciate it. Don't you dare say stuff like that, Darcy. I won it. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Have a great night. Lots of love, man. Really appreciate it. Thank you.